Hello everyone and welcome back to HJW Gaming. Thank you for coming and checking out my season start stream. The server should, there we go, now be open as you can see. So, we're in another Kings of Men server as you can see, and we are going to make exactly the same mistakes as we have previously, and we're going to spawn in kind of the Orthanc area. I'm going to spawn in Minhiriath this time. I know previously I spawned around Durin's Vale, I think. I thought that was counted as Orthanc, but it looks like it isn't. But yeah, we're very excited to start our new season. We've been prepping for this for a while. There's been a long break between my last one and current one, so we're quite excited to get this going. So we're going to start off with, as I said on previous guide, getting Apothecary and everything built as soon as possible. And then we need to get our commanders geared and trooped up. So we already sorted the gear on my stream the other day, and I'm going to skill him exactly as I said I would. 2 wizard, 1 surge, 2 on the grey, 1 blindside, and then I'm going to put 10 into Mithrandir and 5 into Gunvina. And then similarly with Dwalin, we're going to go all in on the musician skill tree. Maximise relief. And then the rest into level-headed. So we've got plenty of heals on both of them. Let's get some inscriptions going as well. Oh, not until we've built the barracks apparently. So we get this going and wait 20 seconds. Right, let's get commander going either way. So where are you? There's Dwalin. Let's give him militia as he's good side, and Gandalf the Grey as well. Sorry, I will be looking down at times as I do play on iPad rather than on PC, so my iPad is just below the camera, so I will be looking down, but I will look up as often as I can. If you are here checking out the server or checking out the stream, please let yourself be known in chat. I'd appreciate any and all interactions. It would be very much appreciated. So we're going to open straight up with, I think we're going to go straight for a 15 power tile here. Could go for a 10, I suppose, to get less risk. But with Gandalf, I think I trust him to go straight for a 10. So all the various update notices. We do also have, obviously, a lot of challenges here. The expedition one's gone. Middle-earth turbulence. Awakened power, obviously, and also just the various notices. There you go. See, almost no losses at all. And we're going to get Dwalin coming over here as well, just to get that stamina regenerating while other things build. We don't want to waste that time, basically. So now everything else is built, we can get running on a lot of these things. Stone tribute. We are going to actually, I will go through and I'll purchase some of the bundles, including the construction queue. So give me 2 seconds and I will purchase all of those and I will be right back. Well, you still be able to hear me. I'm just going to drop off the video. As I said, I don't want everyone to see all of my details. But let's get all those running, as that construction queue will definitely be beneficial. We also should have a fairly big chunk of Mathams that we can open as well. So, yeah, we can look to do those a little bit later on in the stream. Purchases are taking a little while. I'm also going to buy the the 10 Mathams for £2 deal, as it's a good value deal, and then also the stamina tincture to help us at the beginning as well. Do need to remember to also get Witch King moving as well with those evil troops, just so I don't waste those. So almost there. Fortunately on iPad all these purchases do take a little while to verify, as they have to go through all Apple's checks, etc. It's not ideal. Okay, last one, and then we are there. Okay, sorted. There we go. I did also pick up the Lord of Evil pack. You see we have 68 Mathams kicking around currently. And what that means is we do have enough respect items to get the Witch King up to respect 3 as well. Let's do this while we're there for the extra 150 gems. You can see I've got quite a few gems kicking around, so we'll be using those as soon as possible, and we'll be using those to kind of speed everything up. So let's get all of these burning as quickly as possible. In the next 10 seconds I can then spec up Witch King, who I'm going to do similar to Gandalf, as many points into Black Captain as possible, just so I can get Convener up as much as possible. Gothmog is going to be a Sieger, so not going to be using him, and that's going to be kind of our 3 to begin with. So I can also put some troops. Dwalin lost almost nothing on that 10, so it shows that 10s are a little bit pointless. Where is Witch King? He's around here somewhere. There he is. So I can get him moving as well with these skirmishers, as he won't have the penalty for using evil troops, obviously. There's no need to claim all those yet. I've still got resources, and I don't need, I have storage, etc. This takes 5 minutes, so let's get that running. Essentially, we're just looking to try and get as much done as quickly as possible. Now we've got barracks, we can also get these conscription queues going, or maybe not. We need one more barracks upgrade. Let's do that now. 20 seconds. So who's kicking around in the server? Let's have a look. Personal production. Oh, of course, there's no fellowships as of yet, I don't think. Anyway, let's see if home's turned up. Not quite yet. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll try and get into home as soon as it comes available. Until then, we're just going to keep spamming these builds as quickly as possible. Oh, that's one thing I didn't buy. I didn't buy the season pass. And with that, now we do have it. A little bit of a faff that. But there we go, it should be sorted now. So we can unlock all of these, a few more Mathams as well, and a few more other challenges. So right, let's get Gandalf. He's can come take this other 15 over here, as he's kind of our priority to level up on these. See, Witch King took a few more losses than both Dwalin and Gandalf, as he doesn't have the healing capability, so he can carry on taking some of these 10s. And I kind of want to get 10s to, that are en route to 15s, really, though we don't look like we have many 15s. On the map, we are here in Miniriath. It's good, we've got range of the keep, and we've got one crossing. But you'll see there's a few other things around here. In quite a reasonable spot. I'm quite happy with that. We're not obscured by a lot of mountains or anything like that, which is useful. Right, is there a cluster of 15s anywhere around here? It doesn't look like it. There's one 15 here. Not really a lot, really. Oh, there's a cluster up here, so we can. I think what I'll do is I'll just equip another commander, whoever's going to be one of our sweepers. I think the likelihood, in fact, we might even use a Isildur here, just because we will eventually get him running with Last Alliance when we have elves, though we don't have them at the minute. So I'll put points. For now, I'll put points into Great King, though I'll respec him when the time comes, when we have elves, so we can use him. For now, we're just going to chuck a random bit of gear on him, and he can be kind of our bridger, I'll call it at the minute. So he kind of fills the gaps in whilst we try and search for other tiles, because Witch King can then take that 10 tile and I can then get the pack of 15s nearby as well with Gandalf the Grey. Because obviously the main thing we want to try and make sure we don't do here is fill up our stamina. LOTR FTP, hi HTW, hello, and hello to you as well, Ajax or Ajax. What was the starting build for Gandalf the Grey that I'm using? This is what I use. So 2 in Wizard, 1 in Surge. Wizard for the round 1 stun, Surge for the 2 instances of damage that mean more activations of the Grey. It's only a small heal for now though, the Grey. So I've got 2 in there and then 1 point in Blindside for the stun every 3 rounds. And then I put the rest between Mithrandir and Convener. You can choose to go all in on Mithrandir for that damage reduction, though I like putting points into Convener as well, at least 1 anyway, so you can get that initiative, but I put as many in as possible because I want that high chance of follow-up, just so I can deal as much damage as possible. And it's never been an issue in the past, so I've always stuck with that build. Right, there we go. Well done, Isildur. He's at least covered that gap, so let's bring him back in. That's actually quite nice. There's a big row of 15s here, including this one and down here. So that should get us our early level ups pretty simple. And it's all stone as well, which is good. Early season stone is almost always the the thing holding you up. So having as much stone as possible will definitely be valuable. As for troops, despite using evil men on Witch King, I will be focusing on good side troops to begin with. Reason for that being is that with Dwalin and Gandalf, they're our best farmers, and we don't want to commit too many resources to 2 different types of troops. So just for now, going with the good side troops. James Crow, good luck with your season. I'm a big fan. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. Thank you for tuning in. So we'll send didn't mean to send Witch King there, but oh well, that'll do. I meant to send Dwalin whilst we reinforce Gandalf the Grey, which I didn't do earlier. But I think Witch King should get that without too much trouble. Yeah, not too bad. Should be near a level up. Yeah, 100 XP off another level up. Got all of these checked off. Probably get a few more Mathams coming up. So how many Mathams I have at the minute? I do have 74. Could add another 26 and do 100 Matham opening in a bit. I'll see how many more I get with the season pass before I decide to do that. Now let's get building. So we need some more stone. For that we can just check off, of course, the season progression. We are just going to speed straight through all of this. Right, so we need grain and ore. These don't take long. And this should be finished by now. Yep, so let's speed that as well. We need level 4 before we can get the next level, so we just need to get there as quickly as possible, really. I'm not going to speed through these 20-second ones as they're a bit pointless. We will pick up the Fellowship Hall as well. Now, for those who haven't seen, there are changes to fellowships at the moment. Come on, Vanara, let's get home running. Drums here, but no sign of home. There are changes to, a lot of things at the minute, but yeah, a big change to fellowships in how they level up. So it's actually more beneficial to keep rotating players in and out of the fellowship so they can give as many donations as possible to the fellowship. So we'll likely be doing that, so we won't always be in home. I imagine we'll be being cycled out every now and again so that we can get as many people in as possible to keep home upgrading. Let's get this horseman stable going. We won't be using the horseman, I don't think, anyway. Ooh, that was a mistake. Right, with Gandalf back in troops, let's get him going over here and try and get him another level up. Pretty soon, I think I can just send him at, probably after this tile, to be honest, I think I'll start sending him at 30s. I've taken quite a few 15s, so I don't normally take this many, but I don't want to shoot all my troops right off the bat. Right, conscription post, let's do that. running low on stone again, so we can just check this one off, get another 5,000 stone, and then a few more bits of stone from these. And then we'll just get those built again. Try and speed through this as much as possible, as we want to have, you know, the best troops available as soon as we possibly can. And we're not far off that, to be honest. In fact, I'm actually going to speed this as well so that I can claim the next chapter progression. And that's why the tiles I'm taking, those 15 power stones, will be quite valuable, as they do, even though it's only a 15 power, they do open up more stone resource gain per hour. So you want to try and pick up as many of those as possible, or as many stone tiles as possible anyway. Main hall, I imagine, will be too expensive, yeah, for now. Although we might be able to afford it actually after this. I think we will. Yeah, so there we go. Main hall 4 done there. Now we want to focus on getting these quarters done and getting these tier 2 troops in. Because if we can conscript tier 2 troops, that will be absolutely massive. Obviously, I've already set conscription queues underway, so for another 10 minutes, going to be done anyway, unless I want to cancel it. The market will also be very valuable for allowing us to exchange resource, but we can't move on until we've joined a fellowship, unfortunately. So still waiting for home to open up. So if you could do that, that would be appreciated. Right, we have too many troops split between too many commanders. Let's pull them off Dwalin for now, and also off Isildur. Put them all on Gandalf. And I think he should now be okay to take a 30 power tile, I think. Shall take a look. Is Witch King reinforced? Yes, he can take this next stone then. Says it's a little bit too difficult. Says it's challenging. Maybe it's worth going one more level up. I think that's only one tile anyway. So, and I guess we'll get better convener activation with that as well, because we'll be able to put an extra skill point into convener. So yeah, maybe we'll wait one more level and then Gandalf can start taking those 30 power tiles. Witch King also reaches level 7, which is great. So another point into Black Captain. Dwalin's kind of sitting there, and the main thing is just making sure they don't end up with maxed stamina. So Dwalin's still got 16 to go, so we're not in any rush with him, to be honest. And there we go, Gandalf's up at level 8, so that should do it. Now we're going to start hitting those 30 power tiles, getting that production in. Keeping an eye on fellowships. Just going to try and see if message her to get it going. There we got this, and then so we're just waiting for stone. We do have too much grain at the minute, which is somewhat of an issue. So let's see how Gandalf gets on this tile. See, we've got kicking around the server. So as I mentioned, we do have Chaos here, who are a big evil side based clan. I think they might be NRP already, but potentially not. Professor X-Term, nice player, messaged me yesterday. Welcome, welcome. Oh, we have another YouTuber as well, RTS Mobile Gaming. So he is with Chaos. I know Phoenix Gaming is here as well as EJU Boo. So there's a fair few of us kicking around here. It's going to be a fun server. So it looks like Gandalf took that 30 without too much trouble. I needn't have worried really. Under 200 troop loss. I usually try and keep my average troop loss at around 20%, as I find that's the most kind of sustainable level for it to be at. Shock's watching my stream. show Winston. For those who don't know, Winston's my dog. He's actually asleep in the bedroom right now, so I'm going to leave him there. Keep my peace and quiet, thank you. Ring, right, we haven't gone up a ring level yet. What we do next is a bit of a debate. Do we go into morale to try and combine those troops? Extract is an option as well, because we'll soon have 40 power stone and could start extracting from that to get our ring points going. Or we could go this way as well, which is fairly unlikely. I think I'll likely go and get extract, to be honest, because if Gandalf's going to be taking a 40 power tile soon, you can't be far off that now. Maybe one more 30 and I might even give it a try. So, oh, didn't mean to do that. Iron or grain? Let's go grain. Right, so it's basically just going to be a game of balancing how much stamina we spend here. I need this fellowship so that I can get more stone as soon as possible. Ah, damn it. Of course it's full straight away. I'll have to wait. Hopefully they can level it up as soon as possible. They do have an invite, but it's at capacity at the moment. So that's annoying. That's that's really slowing down our progress here. So I want to get this next Numenorian quarters in. It might be wise for us to pick up the market, to be honest. Oh, there we go. Sorted. Did that just let us in, did it? Oh, just clicking the invite gave us the reward. Okay. No complaints then. Lots of stone, lots of every resource. Obviously we are maxed on grain and a lot of other resources right now, which is kind of a bit of a no-go. As normally you wouldn't want to do that because it's just a waste of resource production, but for now I'm sticking with it just to keep things ticking over. Right, we're going to pick up the market as well for that ability to exchange resources, as that will be valuable for us. So what we need here, level 7 conscription post requires level 4 grain. I think we need level 4 ore as well. So there we go. Right, we're back moving again. Witch King continues to level up. He's taken a few more losses than Gandalf, so not as mainly because I've got a much lower respect level, obviously. So how well or not well he would do, I'm not sure. But for now, we're just going to keep Gandalf ticking over. I think now he probably can take one of those 40 power stone tiles. Depends on the army, but let's give it a go. And we are going to pick up extract as well. Just because I want to get those ring points going as well. And extracting stone will be quite useful. And there's storage done. I am actually going to go storage again, just because I don't like being maxed on resource. And we need to get a conscription going. So 3 minutes time we'll get a conscription going of these tier 2 troops, get them in and working as soon as possible. So ooh, yeah, maybe that was a bit too soon. We'll still win that when he comes out the draw, but we've lost quite a few troops, and of course that will use up a lot of grain as well. When that heal goes through, it will lose us some grain. Witch King for now, of course he has almost his own supply of troops, being the evil side. Let's take a look at speeding through some of these heals to get troops back. Whilst Gandalf's drawing, I'll keep Dwalin moving forwards, because he of course needs levelling up a little bit as well. Pick up another stone tile. Witch King, how much XP is he off level? Ooh, don't know if a level 30 would be too soon for him, as he doesn't quite have the troop sustainability that Gandalf does, so I think I'll keep him on lower level tiles for now. I might even use Witch King just to get to here so that I can then get hold of that 15, although in fact these two 15 power tiles. Yeah, as Witch King is not going to be my kind of primary tiler for now, as I'm not going into the evil troops, so he's more useful kind of beginning of the game. So we've got a lot of unlocks here. I'm not sure what this is as well. This seems new. So it looks like if you complete various challenges, you get reward chests with gems in them. That's new, that's quite interesting. I'm good to see the sight of that. That's quite entertaining. And then we've got 2 more Mathams through the season pass. And we're going to send Dwalin over here to get him up to that 8th level. And then we're going to need to start conscripting some tier 2 troops. Right, 9k there, 4k there, okay. Well, we can get a bit more here. Quite a bit more. These are annoying me now. I don't like having the notification up on the side. Right, conscription post we can now get going, and we have 1,000 more for something else. Barracks I can't do till the conscription post is done. Potentially the horseman's stable. In fact, I think we're going to leave it at that at the minute. Don't need the apothecary really doing at the moment. So while these guys are all replenishing stamina, I think I might open those Mathams I have kicking around to see what we can get, see if we can boost our commanders up somewhat, get those respect levels up, which will definitely help us with taking tiles so we can get a few more skill points. So we have 76 at the minute. Let's put that up. There we go, so we have 100 Mathams now, and we're going to open, I think we're going to open the in sync chest. I'm not interested in any of these other kind of other chests. We haven't opened our free daily Matham today, so we will do that as well. I'm actually going to open the evil side and just see if we get anything good. We do get a purple accessory, not a particularly great one, the bone talisman. So now we're going to open 100 Mathams worth of the in sync evil chest. So what we've got this set up for is we do have our kind of main PvP commander Elrond. I have Witch King in as well, because getting some of his invites would be brilliant to get his respect up, but his respect items too as well would be ace. And I've got Sinind as well, as just in case, because I haven't had any of her invites, and it'd be good to start getting her rolling, but I'm not in any rush to unlock her, to be honest. So I'm also playing on a second account as well, so I will be looking away every now and again just to try and get both of those on the roll. Though of course prioritising this one. So let's see what we can pick up. First 5. We get an Easterling Spear with Bane of Mounted Units. I don't use Khaldun, which is probably the only commander I would put this on that I have. So that's going to be used for strengthening, I think. Next 5, we get a Bone Mask. Now we do use Bone Mask with Hysteria quite a lot, and I think I have it fully refined, so I might even consider getting a second one on the roll, so that's good to have. Next 5, we get our first gold piece, gold thing anyway. We get a gold Hadratic Trinket for Sunind, so that's good. Of course, I am kind of wanting Witch King's ones a little bit more, as he's only respect 3, and we do have him unlocked, so his will be like a more immediate usefulness. And we get a Scale Mail as well. Next 5, we get our first piece of gold equipment. We get the massive breastplate. I'm hoping if we get gold equipment, I really want a gigantic hammer with frenzy, as we don't have one of those in the minute, but any gold equipment is good, of course. It comes with resilience of giants. I don't really use large units very often, so again, this will be used for strengthening more than anything. We do also get a Mirkwood bow and an Uruk-hai broadsword. Next 5, not quite as good. Of course, only the 1 purple respect item for Mouth of Sauron. Now we get our first respect item for Elrond, and we also get another respect item for Gothmog, which I don't know if we're going to be using those. We might even exchange them, as I'm not planning on using Gothmog, at least as a battle commander, on this account, and we do already have him respect 5, so he's already high enough respect to do the siege damage. Next 5, again, we're left with only a Mouth of Sauron respect item. Unfortunately, we're not getting the best of luck with these here. And we only get one respect item again on the next 5 with Gandalf. We do get another Hydratic trinket on the following 5. And one other Mouth of Sauron respect item. How many are we through? 55. So that's halfway now. One more Gothmog respect item. And Drums of Moria. Drums of Moria. And it does have Bane of Dwarves, which is an effect I don't have at the minute. I seem to constantly get Siege of Dwarf drums. So I'm glad I've got the Bane of Dwarves ones now, as I'll probably break down my current drums in order to refine this one. So that's great to see. Now onto our 55th Mathams. We get one more piece of equipment. It's the same one we had earlier, the Bane of Mounted Units Easterling Spear. And another respect item for... Oh, hello, we got 2 pieces. We get another piece of legendary equipment. This is pretty good luck, actually, to get 2 pieces of legendary equipment in 60 Mathams. Definitely happy with that, as well as the respect items we're getting. This time it's the Warborn Battle Plate with the Strength from Dexterity. I probably, again, will use this for strengthening. I do like this piece of armour. However, I think with the Fortitude of Soldiers, it's probably its best effect. I'm not really a big fan of the Strength from Dexterity, which is the same effect I have on my Ranger's Shroud. But anyway, good to get 2 pieces of legendary equipment in 60 Mathams. That's definitely a good pull rate. Next 5, we get Gothmog respect item and a worn out smoking pipe with sustain. We already have a fully refined one, so that will be used for strengthening. And we get another Hydratic trinket in the next lot, and that's the only thing we have in this 5. Next 5, we get quilted armour with focus protection. Again, we do have a fully refined version of this, though I may get a second one going, as focus protection is probably one of the better effects you can have, and it's useful when facing against good side commanders or Sauron on the evil side as well. 2 pieces of equipment this time. We get a lot of purple equipment as well. I think this is the second lot of broadswords and Mirkwood bows we've had, and they seem to always come together for some reason for me. Another respect item for Elrond on next, and also a Scout's Mail. We won't be using the Scout's Mail, this will be for strengthening. And then the next 5 we get the Battle Axe. So we have 10 Mathams left. Hopefully we can pick up maybe one more gold respect item if we're lucky. Not this time. We do get Hunter's Skin with ranged vigour though. So last 5, let's see if we can go out with a bang. And we do get that one more respect item. We get another, I keep saying Hydratic, it's Haradric trinket for Sunind. And we also get a Trapper's Hood with ranged vigour. Overall, I think we got some pretty decent results. Of course, we get all of these rewards as well as a result of the in-sync chest. I don't think it's too bad. No invites, unfortunately, but 2 pieces of gold equipment, especially in the first 60, definitely useful. I'd consider maybe upgrading the Mithril coat, or I could also go Protection of Numenor. We've got lots and lots of purple items as well, an absolute ton of them. Just clear off these for now, and we'll have a look at what to do with those a little later on. One thing I didn't look at was if we have anything in the exchange either. That's the Axe of Khazad-dûm, which is not something I'm going to be using. So we'll leave that for now. How are we looking stamina-wise? We've got 60 on Gandalf, 68 on Witch King. Now we should have, there we go, finished all of our conscription, so we can start getting Tier 2 Spearmen unlocked. I'm not a massive fan of the Spearmen. I think their this anti-cavalry training is a bit of a mediocre effect, to be honest. I much prefer, if I had the choice, if I was playing a non-role player, I quite like the Dwarven units, as their shield training effect to reduce damage is really good for early farming. But we will put a bit of gold into this. We can also get a lot more gold from the tavern if we sell all of this. There you go, 175k gold. We should have just topped up all of our green and blue equipment through opening that. Now we are going to use up some ring points, get a bit more stone here from this 40 power tile. We just want these ring points to be regenerating. Last season I used it for a conversion, and I got pretty poor results from the troops I converted. So I think best use for this for now is probably going to be getting a bit more of that stone and keeping things rolling forwards. So let's just keep going with what we can. What do we need? 12,800 for the next conscription post. Oh, we have a few more things on the season pass. So what do we need here? We need one commander to level 10. Gandalf cannot be far off that, I assume. Yeah, one more tile will get them there. So Dwalin, I believe, had all my good side troops. Let's pull those off. There we go. Trying to work out, do they look to see if the tier 1s had shield training? Because if so, oh, they do. I should have upgraded these a while ago. I could have saved myself quite a few losses. Oh well, not the end of the world. There you go, Gandalf's now got 9 command there, and we'll look to pick up another 40 power tile, and again I'm going to go for a stone one, as I want my stone production as high as possible, as stone is massively our bottleneck at the beginning. Everyone else can kind of stay where they are, I think. So Witch King, I assume, is what, 1 tile off? Well, 130 power tile. So I might get Witch King. The problem is I'm not conscripting evil side troops, so I don't want to burn through troops with him as quickly as I am with the others, because I'm not going to be replenishing those numbers. Pawsey was one of our neighbours here. He's another home player, so I'm not too worried about him. Yeah, so I don't want to drain through those troops with Witch King as quickly as I maybe am with others, because that will definitely cost us in the long run, not being able to use the Witch King. In fact, I might even sweep with him. I think I will sweep with him. Should take that fairly easily. Right, can we join home yet? No, still 20 out of 20. So we're kind of ticking along pretty nicely so far. Let's see how things are going overall. A few people are ring level 5 already, which is very impressive. You can see 900 production already is mental. And this player is the only clan. Absolutely flying along. A few others here. We have this player from Time, which is Chiron, I assume. See here, there's a lot of players very high in production already. Fellowship wise, home isn't there even on the site yet. We're used to home being one of the best or one of the quickest farms in the servers we play, but I think in this server we're probably going to be one of the smallest fish in the server. For Thorlo King in the chat, who else is in the server, you can see it on here. So there's a load of really, really big teams. Mora is a pretty massive team. I know that, or Mara they were called. I know that from a friend of mine, Landon, he mentioned them and said they're a very, very whaled out team. Similar with Chaos, who I've been aware of previously, Evil Side team. Dino are, I believe, the previous team were called Hide. So Hide and Seek has changed to Dino and Saw. So they're up in second at the minute. Oh, there we go. We've just managed to join home. We also have UTTP, who is a good previously a good side team. There's Time, Sith. Only you can see there's even other big teams like IRSS are all the way down here. So there's a lot of really big teams in this server. It's going to be it's going to be pretty fun, I think. So Witch King successfully swept with very minimal troop loss, so I think we might keep him doing that for now. We have level 10 with our Gandalf, almost there to be able to maximise Mithrandir Convener, and we complete another season chapter for another load of stone. So we'll do 5 tiles, level 30 or higher. We will get that. In fact, I'm going to pull back Dwalin because we will get that with our next tile capture, but we're a bit low on troops right now. I could speed up a heal, which I might do in a second. Just need those spearmen to hurry up and come in. Very active world chat as well, so it's going to be a very full server. And now, as I mentioned earlier, the fellowship system has changed quite a lot. So what you need to do is you have these boosts and things like that, which you have to put gold into, and people have to sweep as much as possible. So while I'm sweeping, that should help these levels of this of the fellowship increase a lot quicker. And then when you get there, you have to put gold into, in exchange for fellowship coins, you have to put gold into those upgrades, and that then unlocks the various different options. And later on, you get things like I don't know, like more resource for everyone in the fellowship, which has replaced the previous system where, as fellowship members got 200 power tiles, they would then give more resource to the rest of their fellowship. That's been replaced by this now. So how many more troops do I need? If I bring Dwal in, once he's in, will I then have enough? I don't think I will, so I think I need to speed through one of these as well. Right, how do I check all these off? Because this is... I don't like having the little red dot. It's frustrating how it makes you do all of these individually. Better keep clearing through everything. Why is this one not clear? Oh, because we've already passed this one. Ooh, some speed ups. And a few more gems as well. Yay. Clear. We got up here. Clear these ones. There we go. The little notification has gone now. It's doing my head in. I can't help but click whenever there's some kind of notification up. Right, let's clear troops off Dwalim. Refill Gandalf. I'm acutely aware we are using a lot of his stamina. In fact, I might hold off on using Gandalf actually for this one. I think we might use Dwalin and Witch King. So should I get Witch King to take a 30 or 40 power tile? Maybe level up one more time. 1100 XP, so one sweep will do it. We do actually have level 12 mobs spawning near us. So if we wanted to, we could have used conversion to pull in some wardens maybe and got someone like Isildur on the go. In fact, we might even still do that. But anyway, so Witch King's level 8, right? We need a low level mob. There goes a level 6 one there. Let's pull Witch King back. And then sweep with him here, so that'll level him up. Then we'll get him to take a 30 power tile, and that will get us up to level 9, and he can then take a 30 power tile. I'm just looking around us as well at what other things we have near us, and I'm quite liking what I see. So we have this uncanny effigy here, which has 2 level 35 armies on it, but usually those are easier to defeat than, say, like a 200 power tile, which also has 2 level 35 armies. We also have Dunlending Warriors here as well, who again 2 level 35 armies, so could be experience farmable. And then we have this crossing as well, which we could ruins, which we could farm early. 2 level 25 armies, so we can do that a lot sooner. We do also have Spirit of the Woods around us as well, though we're unlikely to farm those, at least not until very, very much later in the game. But we have 2 Dunlending Warrior camps around here, so there's good options here for early game experience farming. Now another point for Witch King allows us to put 5 into Convener, which I think will trigger him to start taking 30 power tiles. I'm going to start taking these ones over here, so we start moving towards, there's a 40 power stone over here. There's a few other options that we might want to take later on, so it's all about just kind of opening up our possibilities. As far as farming goes, the only things we are missing is maybe crossings. We only have 1 in our range at the moment, which is this one here, or at least the 2 sides of it. So we might have to move elsewhere if we want to start experience farming. Right, so Witch King is now back in. We can put the skirmishers back on him and send him out again on actually this grain one. How are we doing for tier 2s? So we should start getting our first tier 2s coming in now. We can get the conscription post going. Apparently, according to the tasks, we do need to get these here upgraded. Let's just finish this one. It's only 30 seconds. As those upgrades will allow us to get more resources again. So getting on to the next stage of the chapter. The only problem now is that chapters are stopping giving us stone. You'll see down here we now get wood, iron and grain, but we actually don't get any stone at all. So that's going to really start bottlenecking us, as we have been struggling for stone. You see we've got nearly 140,000 grain, but no stone. Of course we do have the market as well, so we could look to exchange in there, but it's kind of tossing up, is it worth it, is it not? And unfortunately we don't have any way of gaining stone in this market. It's all grain, so it will cost us. And the reason I'm reticent to do this is with a 10-to-4 ratio we're losing 60% of that. It just kind of it's gone into the ether. So we don't want to use this too much because we'll just end up burning through all of our resources. Now Witch King actually took that 30 fairly easily, so we're going to get him to take another one. Didn't really lose any troops at all, to be honest, less than 100, which is good for the 3000 XP we get. And there we go, there's the next level of the chapter. So we are now bottlenecked on a load of resources again, particularly grain. So after saying I'm reticent to do it, I am going to just exchange a little bit of grain for stone just to get us back below that storage cap, which should leave me free to upgrade our barracks to the next level, and I'll get that apothecary going as well. So now it's mainly just waiting for the tier 2 troops, to be honest. There's not a huge amount to do in the meantime, although Witch King took some heavy losses on that 30 power tile. Quite surprised by that. We are going to speed through that just to get him running again, and then I think we'll get him back on back on sweeping. Problem is there seems to be a lack of level 6 sweeps around us, unfortunately. They all look like they are level 10 or 12. Oh wow, that's the nearest sweep. That cannot be right. No, there's level 6s around here. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with the search function there. In the meantime, just going to kind of get my second account up and running. So on this other one, it's primarily evil side. So you will see that when I start featuring in videos. You will see I'd use this account as well for the videos, as I should be able to show like different areas of the server, you know, to show it from different kind of perspectives. Right, waiting for that sweep. Gandalf stamina's regenerating. We've been allocated an officer position in home. Let's see who's in so far. Who's our highest in home so far? So White Tiger here is the highest so far. We're all just kind of chilling, going nice and slow, getting things going bit by bit. You see, fellowship ranking wise, some of these are absolutely flying away on 18k already. Mainly because they must be sweeping like madmen to get these extra positions in, because they got 40 in there, 40 there, 40 here as well. So I think there's something with the new fellowship mechanics that maybe we're missing a trick on, as we, you know, still haven't quite finished level 1 as of yet. Maybe they've just got designated people sweeping relentlessly, which we maybe don't have at the moment. Perhaps we should have Dwalin out sweeping as well, just to kind of get these levels done as soon as possible. So where's our next closest low power mob. I can't believe how the lack of level 6 mobs around here. There's not very many. But there you go, send both of them off. Just try to get this fellowship leveled up as quickly as we possibly can. Now it's just kind of a waiting game. To be honest, waiting for those tier 2 troops, because we don't want to hit too many high power tiles at least. You know, we don't want to waste Gandalf's stamina at least, because we're just slowing him down a little bit, to be honest. Right, Witch King leveled up off that sweep. I imagine Dwalin will as well. Yeah, he will as well. Let's get Witch King back, send him off on another one. In fact, we can probably send Witch King on a higher level sweep so we can start hitting these ones a bit nearer to us. There's a level 10 sweep there, so we'll send that. Get a bit more XP. We're just conscious of troop losses, as every troop we lose uses up grain, and we don't want, you know, that grain wasted. Right, let's speed through these and see what we need for the next main hall level. 49,000 stone. So we need storage up 2 levels. So let's finish that. And I think apothecary only up 1 level. Oh no, apothecary's up 2 as well. I guess we need 49,000 from that, and we'll get a bit from this, but we won't be able to finish the season, the chapter, until we get a level 13 commander. So we might have to get Gandalf moving again in a moment. He's only going to be on 40 power tiles. He's nowhere near ready for anything higher than that yet. That 49,000 we probably could pick up quite easily, you know, by trading some of our grain. But that's a huge amount of grain cost, but I think I'm still going to do it. Maybe I should have extracted for a little bit more, but I just think getting that main hall going is going to be more valuable, and we're also going to get that stone tribute going as well. So Dwalin leveled up on his mob, and we're going to start getting Warrior of the Lonely Mountain upgrade. And I think I saw, did Witch King draw? Oh wow, he did very poorly. Surprised at that, how hard that mob was. I thought a level 10 mob would be easy. Is that the same level as a 30 power tile? Oh no, it's the level of 40 power tile. Okay, maybe I went slightly too early, as we hadn't had Witch King taking 40 power tiles. Oh well, we'll just let that draw out, and I think he should win and get it back. Right, we appear to have unlocked something on one of these. Barracks level 8, so we get a bit of gold and a bit of grain. Still waiting on those troops. But I think for now we'll get Gandalf taking a few more 40 power tiles. Can't be far off 60 powers now, I imagine. But when that does happen, we'll start scouting. Which is hitting tiles with low-level commanders, just getting a bit more, you know, a bit more knowledge about the commander about to hit, so that we can take less losses. Edward Grant, no level 6 mobs near you either. Yeah, it's horrendous. It's I don't know why there's no level 6 mobs. It's all level 10s, and I won't be making that mistake hitting those again. Waneda. Yeah, good luck my season. Thank you, appreciate it. I will still be playing our season 1, so don't worry about that. It will just be when I'm not on stream. And the all checking in as well, or Stan. Thank you very much for checking in as well. Disappointed you're not here at the minute. Hopefully we can sneak you in through the village, but we'll see. Right, let's pull all these troops off. And let's get Gandalf going again. I don't know what we need really to get him ready for 60 power tiles. I imagine there's people already taking them out there, judging from the production levels of some players in the fellowships. But see, Gandalf's taking quite a few losses still on these low level tiles, so we're not in any kind of hurry to skip on to 60s, to be honest, when we're still taking losses on 40s. Of course, these are only tier 1 troops, which is why. We of course do still have our stamina tincture as well. I feel like we're going a little bit slower this season than we did previously, but you know, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. So we have reached level 2, so there we go. We get member expansion. This is what I mean. We have to donate gold and things like that. Although this doesn't appear to be donating. It is donating gold. Yes, it donates gold, 10 gold for 10 points into this and 3 fellowship coins. Store doesn't unlock till level 10, so we should be rotating out members in order to get as many people in as possible. Season 1's already done, so we got the win. Yeah, I agree with that. We've and that season 1 just got to take Dol Guldur and then game over. Just a case of waiting for the next one. Right, now do I want Convener or do I want that first damage evasion? I think we're going to max Mithrandir instead. Both our commanders drawing out is not great. Of course, Gandalf drew with kind of low loss, so it's not too bad. As I said, I normally aim for about 20%. It's a little bit higher than that, but not the end of the world. 2 minutes till we get another 100 militia as well. I don't think there's a lot more else we can do here, to be honest. Let's see if there's any battle reports or anything floating around. Nothing, sadly, in World Chat. I think we'll drop a message to everyone. What do we got in Fellowship? We got a couple of different ones. So White Tiger's already taken 40 power tiles with next to no loss. Not really surprising given the respect level and the gear. Very high respect level, in fact. So he chooses only to put a point into Wizard and not into Surge. That could be a good idea, to be honest. When you've only got 2 points in the grey, maybe the points into Surge is a waste of 2 points, but it's kind of your own decision, I suppose. Yeah, no battle reports as of yet. Just quite funny. Everyone's kind of noticing that there's a lot of content creators currently in this server. Yeah, with us, Phoenix Gaming, EJU, and RTS all here as well. So yeah, that is quite entertaining, to be honest. Right, running low on stamina with most of our comms here. It's just gonna be a case of keep ticking through these levels, to be honest. So Gandalf's 11. He's only got 4 hits left, so I don't even think we're going to make 14 like we normally do before we need to use a stamina. 13, sorry, like we normally do before we need to use a stamina pot. I could start scouting some of these 60s. I want to get a 90 as soon as possible, at least 90 stone, so that I can use it for extraction. Evil side troops, we do still have 1,000 troops, so we're not doing too badly for those. Mobs all level 10. There's another ruins here we could use for experience. A few other players appearing around us. Don't recognise this player, so he's not going to be a home player, so that could be troublesome. In fact, Witch King, I don't see the point on getting a low level mob. Instead, it's probably better to just get him getting a 30 power tile. More experience. Just a case of ticking over, waiting for our draw in particular to finish before we can move Gandalf anywhere. Yeah, I think when these conscription queues finish, I might start conscripting kind of 1 troop at a time, so that I can scout using that 1 troop at a time. 30 seconds. Witch King did take that tile, but again, took a surprisingly high amount of loss. He's not been particularly impressive so far. I appreciate he hasn't got his favourable troops as of yet, but definitely hasn't got awful troops. It's only a level 8 as well against level 10. Surprised by that. Maybe I should have upgraded the anti-cavalry training after insulting it earlier. So, yeah, could have chucked a few points in there, and that would have reduced our losses, but it's not the end of the world. Now we might need to just start mass sweeping in a moment with alternate commanders anyway. Let's get a few of these heals done. And then get Gandalf taking another 40 tile. Though, do I go for a 60? He has just reached level 11. Of course, we've now maxed that Mithrandir, which makes a big difference on the losses. I think we might do. So I've got those skirmishers maxed. And then we're just going to use... So this is quite a handy tip for creating scout armies. So in 30 seconds, I'll have 4 more skirmishers, which I can then place onto one of my other commanders and use them to scout. And then scouting, I always use a commander that can hit with madness, so that the madness can take out some of the troops on the tile. So someone like Isildur is perfect. Frodo and Sam is also very useful with ring bearers. And Ring of Terror. So that chance to inflict madness means that you could kill some of the opposing tile just through madness alone. Though I'm still thinking that this might be a little bit too soon for Gandalf, so maybe I will hold off. Let's get him to level 12 first, and then we can think about it. It's not run before we can walk. I'm kind of acutely aware that last season we did. I think we might have done the same thing. Got to this point and started full sending 60 power tiles, and we don't really have the gear or respect levels for it. We need should have gone in with your main. You should have. You could have come with us. You could have jumped in with home if. Considering some of your commanders in season 1, I'm sure you would have fitted right in with your main. So there we go. We've got 4 troops there. I'm still going to build up these scout armies though, as we are going to need them soon. So it's just handy to have as many scout armies on hand as possible, as they can be very, very useful. I don't seem to get them very fortunate, at least with the armies on a tile though, which is causing some trouble, as we are losing more troops than we would like. There we go, another scout army done. We'll just do a third one and then we'll start more militia conscripting, as we do need more troops more than anything at the minute. Where is Isildur? Around there somewhere. There he is. Then we should be all set. So Gandalf doesn't have enough troops at the moment, but that doesn't mean we can't strip the troops off him and put them on someone like Dwalin. He should then be set to go and sweep or something like that. There should be, we've got options here. We're just not in any rush. Being top of the server in the first 5 minutes doesn't really matter too much. Although people are streaking away. Dino now jumped up to, because they've got 60 members, jumped up to 27,000 production. Personal production, we're in the top 300. Same people who were kind of here earlier, still kicking round. Top player though now is Hisoko Moru, who is one of the Mara players. He's already on 1,200 production. There are a few others that at the minute are not in a fellowship. I imagine that's likely because of other fellowships doing something similar to what we're doing, and like rotating players in and out. So we need more sweeping desperately here. Right, one more scout army. Who should we put them on? I don't even know what else we've got. I think we just put it on Gil-galad. Put it on anyone, to be honest. Right, now let's strip these troops off here and put them on Dwalin, so Dwalin can start or at least get moving and do something useful in the case of a sweep. Not level enough to take tiles yet, and we don't want to lose the troops there anyway. There we go, there's one. It's a drum player here, so nothing for me to worry about. Drum, of course, being our friendly fellowship that we played with in the last season. So now we're just going to start this kind of second account I've got ticking round as well, so that it's up and running and I'm not holding it up. Obviously mainly playing this one means that it's kind of slow at the start anyway. Hi Trent, thank you for tuning in. My other account is in, let's see, in Tower Lower. That's where it is. So it's a little way away from current one, but it means just I have, you know, someone on both sides, and I can cover both sides if we end up on two fronts, which is quite handy. Right, we need to think about what tiles we can take after this. So if Gandalf, he's still losing on 40 power, so we need to find a couple more 40 powers. Potentially stone. We need more stone. There you go. So we've got one up here, so we could move on to taking these two over here. See, Pawsey's going absolutely mad with his tiling and capturing. He does have another 40 power tile hanging off his here, so potentially we could jump tiles to see if we're being nice or not. Trent asking, where did I spawn? So I've spawned here, which is in Miniriath. Not a bad spot, to be honest. I think I have range of the keep, or maybe I'm one tile off. But I've also got a few useful things around me that I'm looking forward to using later on. So I've got Dunlendings here, another Dunlendings here, ruins. I have an effigy, and there's another ruins just here. And I haven't really looked around fully, but there seems to be a good amount of tiles around. I'm seeing a lot of grain, which is useful. So yeah, I think quite a promising spot. And the best thing is that we know our whole range isn't just mountains, which it could have been. There's plenty of open area on the other side of all of these. Another ruins here, but that could be quite useful actually, because of if we wanted to expand upwards, it's near the end of our range. Yeah, there's a lot around here that could be beneficial to us. Okay, that's more like it. Getting some resources in and getting some levels for the fellowship. I think everyone in the fellowship should be sweeping right now, as that's probably the most important thing right now, is getting those fellowship level ups. So I'm going to send Witch King out as well. Excuse me. Do get our ring up to level 5, which means we get access to 10 more, well, a few more tiles. And then I'm going to put the rest into dispersion. I don't really need the point at the minute, to be honest. I don't really want extract or time out of time, so not in any hurry to use those. Rania, do you have any information if the season 2 will be only NRP, or will there be a choice again? I suspect that it will be non-roleplay, as season 1 servers now being non-roleplay only would suggest that season 2 will continue in the same vein, so they will have taken away that choice, I think. Previously it kind of made sense where season 1s were roleplay, then you had the choice to go non-roleplay. I suspect season 2, if it started non-roleplay in season 1, it will keep you non-roleplay, in my opinion. But I don't have any concrete information on that, no. Trent is in Miniriath as well. It's quite a big area, there's lots of spots that we can get over to here. I haven't seen these changes here, so these are, like, rather than critical crossings, they've called them passes, but they seem to be across all the border lines between regions. So it's a lot more difficult now to cross regions. I'm assuming, therefore, they must have... Have they got rid of the glitch tiles as a result then? Because that would kind of defeat the point of you know, the passes if you could just use the glitch tiles again to get over, but I guess we'll find out. Right. So for now, there's not a lot we can do. Just keep things conscripting. There is something we can do. We can keep the spearmen going, and we want to get a load more militia as well. We basically just need troops coming in. So my commanders will not be the best geared on the server. Troops are going to be the most important thing for me. Let's see that level 6 up here. See what world chat's talking about. Just general chit chat. One of the reasons why our growth at the minute with home will be slower as well is we do have a lot of our populace is North American, so they will have spawned in to make sure they get the spot in our spawn areas, but then they will have probably gone back to sleep, as I think it's 3-4 a.m. for a lot of our group, which you know, that's early, so they're going to get a little bit of kip and then come back, I think, which does waste buff, but it's better than having to spawn somewhere where you can't join your fellowship. So, you know, there's positives and negatives to all of this. Again, there's no point speeding up our main hall until we have a commander level 13, as we can't step onwards anyway. So we're just going to be kind of holding here. Could take more tiles, but we don't really want to take the losses. So I'm just going to keep sweeping and trying to level up that fellowship. You know, see, we're miles off level 3. We need people sweeping as much as possible. People don't seem to be in a hurry to sweep, which is costing us at the minute. We are, you know, we have significantly less members than every other fellowship, so we are going very slowly. Trying to work out what to do with myself now while I'm waiting. Kind of used up a lot of my time waste anyway, doing the massive Matham opening earlier. Could start looking towards what we got from that and what we want to do with it. So we do have a lot of respect items as a result, 3 of which are Elrons, which is useful. Not enough to get them up to respect level 9, unfortunately. We did get a lot for Sunind, but again, we aren't currently building her. I had her in case I got an invite. So a lot of these are just going to kind of sit around, I think. We are going to use Dwalin's items, because we will always be using Dwalin. We're obviously a long way off having him the next respect level, but we'll just keep building those items up. So a lot of these will probably just kind of sit there. We might even exchange them if, say, a gigantic hammer came up in the exchange. Then we might consider chucking it in. I do have this burn chest here, which is not fully upgraded, so I might use some of these bits here to upgrade. In fact, we're 1 piece off. Tempted to break down this scout's mail. And I could then focus on maybe another focus protection, quilted armour, or another scale mail, as I don't find I get a lot of value, to be honest, out of my scout's mail. But then if I decide to run Theoden, maybe it could become valuable. Keep as is for now. We did get a lot of these broadswords, which are kind of the best in slot for commanders like, I think it's best in slot for Gothmog, I think, at least from the purples. But as I said, we're not looking to run him as a main main commander, so we're not going to do that. We did get a lot of Mirkwood bows, so I can refine this ranged units one, which is the one we primarily use on Isildur, as we don't have him respect 10 yet for his unique. So we just got a lot of kind of gear bits kicking around. As I said, I am building up another bone mask. But then all of these other bits I have here, other than the trapper's hood, I am saving for refinement on other areas. Actually, in fact, this horseman's helm is not being used for that, so we can go one more up into this and then also use that bone mask for another refine. So there we go, getting pretty sorted equipment wise. We do have a lot of spare equipment kicking around. I think I did say I was going to change up my drums as well. So I've got Haste of Soldiers, but I think I want the Bane of Dwarves. Where I'm seeing so much of an increase, particularly in commanders like Dane, but also Dwalin with Frenzy. I'm seeing more and more, and I imagine a server with this kind of level of player, we will also see a hell of a lot of Frenzy Dwalins from anyone good side. So likely be like UTTP maybe. So maybe I think it's wise to get a Bane of Dwarves drum going. So I think I might break that one down. We have leveled our Dwalin up again. We have no one moving at the minute. Witch King's out of stamina. Let's take those troops off him. Of course, we could sweep with another commander and just put those evil troops on a good side, but I'm a little bit reticent to do that, as it will waste a lot of troops, basically, because they will lose more as a result of having evil troops on a good side commander. What have I got evil side? Is there anything worth chucking troops on? I don't think so. In fact, I could use Gothmog just to get him leveled up, ready for siege. I don't really use any of these. I could go Ysera, as I often use her as like my gatherer. So getting her sweeping and leveled up could be beneficial, but she's just going to be a bit low respect level. Maybe it is worth putting points into here. Do I go second in command and discipline, or do I go overlord and phalanx? Will the increased defense give more damage reduction? I think it will. We'll go there for now. He's not going to be able to sweep straight away is the thing, so I think he will lose a few units here. Because I'm going to have to take a couple of tiles with him just to get him leveled up 2-3 times before he'll be prepared to take on those tiles, like the way we had to take 10 power tiles on a few other commanders. So let's just see here with Gothmog. Once he's leveled up, we'll then just send him sweeping like this. It's only level 6. So once he's taken a few of these 10 power level 4 armies, we'll do similar. It's quite funny watching the grind. Seeing how kind of fast everyone else is moving is insane. The level of this server is so intense. Like every time I check back, all these fellowships have gone up by another 10,000 production. Mainly because we don't have anywhere near the same level of members at the minute, and members' production's a lot lower because people are asleep or only just waking up. But we'll get there slowly, I'm sure. So we lost 100 troops there on a level 4 tile. Ugh. We do open up this 40 power stone for Gandalf at least. There's Gothmog leveled up again. While he's losing this many troops, like 100 troops a time, I don't think we can have him take a level 6 quite yet. He won't be far off, but not quite yet. So we need another 10 power tile. The way to test if he can do it is to take one of these 15s, of course, and see, because that's the same level as a sweep. There's no point sending him on a sweep because it will take him 5 minutes to get there. And then if he draws, it's been a waste of time. Yeah, that was much better. 660 troop loss that time. One more and he'll go level 7, and then I think he'll be fine to do it. Let's get him to return after, because I wanted to hit that 15 power stone just to check. So which king's out of stamina? Gandalf still has a bit, but we're just kind of saving Gandalf as we keep building up these spearmen. When we have enough of them, we can then start using Gandalf, and maybe even looking towards 60s, though I think we'll get him to level 12 first. How far is off is level 12? Is he? So maybe I have to take 2 or 3 40 power tiles. So 40 gives 4,000 XP, so I'd get 8,000 off 2. So not quite, but 3 40 power tiles, and then I can start taking some 60s. I just don't want to jump in too soon, because at the minute we are bottlenecking on troop numbers, and so I don't want, I don't want to keep bottlenecking on troop numbers, basically, because if I hit things too soon, I'll lose too many troops, and then I'll stick in that bottleneck the whole time. So we're just trying to avoid that, basically. There's not really a lot for us to do in the meantime, though. There we go, there's the level up on Gothmog, which should give that +5 defense. How did he look on that one? So yeah, 50, 60 troops. On a 15, obviously he'll lose a few more, maybe 100. Hopefully not more than 150. But we might have to get a few more tier 1 evil side troops in just to keep these guys going, I think. It's not ideal, it's not what I'd want to do, but I think it's better than keeping myself slowed down as a result. Just looking at my evil side account, to be fair, I do have like 60 odd Mathams in there, so I could open up kind of a bit more, a few more Mathams is an option. But that'll likely be saved for a video rather than a stream. I've already streamed 100 Mathams earlier, so I can open the other kind of 75, 80 Mathams and add them to the video. How did he do? Just over 150. So 100. Oh no. Oh, he didn't. What am I talking about? He didn't take the 15 power tile. Just use those speed ups, killing those troops, and then we'll try him on. So of course he only lost 60, but it looked like it was 160 because he went up 1 command as a result of his level up. Right, Gothmog go there. Dwalin, what do we want to do with Dwalin? Do we want Dwalin to start taking 30 power tiles is the question, though it will use valuable troops for Gandalf, so I think the answer for now is no. I think we just want to get as many sweepers as possible kind of up and running, so we can just sweep relentlessly. I am tempted to put a ring point into conversion and get Isildur up and running, and I think I might actually take that and do it, because he'll be very valuable as well for us as a tile taker. So we've now got conversion, and one of these mobs, is it worth it on a level 12 mob rather than a level 15? I'm going to risk it, potentially making the same mistake I made last time, but let's see, because we might get tier 2 elves and some elf archers as well, which means that we'll be kind of sitting pretty with Isildur for a little while, because we can use mostly men on him and then just a couple of elves. So who else is going to sweep? I think I'll use Aragorn, King of Men, as another sweeper. But actually he's going to be... I'll put a scout army on him for now. So with Isildur, once we've got these elves in, we can now look towards using Last Alliance. So I will put every point into that. So when using men and elves, we get a massive damage reduction, and when we go up one level, we get that bonus attack and bonus HP on men. So as soon as these wardens come in, we can then look towards using him. So I'm actually going to save Dwalin's stamina for a little bit because I might need him for tiles in a bit, basically. Right, so Gothmog is, he's got troops, but not full. If I speed that, does that give him full? Yes. So he took that 15 power tile and he lost like 150. It's probably a few too many, but he will just keep leveling up pretty quickly. Screw it, I'm just going to send him off on another sweep. We need these sweeps as fast as possible just to keep people coming in the fellowship. So sweep away, Gothmog. We're not using those troops for anything else, so... Right, how are we looking with those elves? 20 seconds. Fellowship-wise, getting towards level 3. Rankings, as you can see, still nowhere near the production leaderboard. Though I am kind of going slow and steady, of course, saving Gandalf stamina, etc. A few of these guys might be coming out the blocks pretty heavy, rather than, taking their time. But I imagine they're doing pretty well, judging from the fact they're on 1500 production already. So this might be one of the first seasons in a while where we're not near the top. But we are trying things a little bit differently here, running a few different commanders to what we usually do. Obviously, Witch King's quite low respect level. We're just basically trying to change it up a little bit, see how we get on. But yeah. Because last time I think I went Gandalf and Dwalin the whole way. Didn't use anyone else other than sweeping commanders. So this time I'm going to be trying things differently and seeing what the end result is. Hopefully positive, but you never know. Right, did I miss Isildur when I was scrolling through? No, I didn't. So we do have 600 wardens, 600 hunters. So we can just do something like that. We may want to look towards putting a little bit of gold into these wardens, just getting them up to 5, and the hunters in particular. In fact, let's do that. It's a lot of gold spent there, but might even chuck some hunters at the back, something like that. And then we've got Isildur kind of ready to roll and get his stamina going as well. So whilst we're using up a few more troops at the beginning than we normally do, I think that's going to allow us to have more commanders sweeping and kind of we'll get more benefit as a result, I think. So this might slow us down to begin with, but speed us, kind of accelerate us as we get further through today. I'm looking to stream for probably about 3 hours this morning, not like a massive stream. I'm not going to be doing 7-8 hours like I have previously. Going to try and keep it a little bit lower, mainly just for my own sanity. But then I might come back on this afternoon or evening, and if I do, I'll probably post it on my channel, or I'll make a decision when this kind of stream ends, what time I think I'll come back. Oh. So how does Isildur get on with his first tile? See, that's why I wanted to get him up and running. You saw the loss that Gothmog had on his first 10, 100 troops, and then you look at Isildur and he lost 3. The difference is enormous. Like, Isildur is so good for farming, it's insane. I get that he does have a couple of tier 2 troops on him as well, but that shouldn't make that much of a difference. Maybe I skilled my Gothmog wrong when I went with the plus defense. Maybe I should have gone the flanks route. So I'm sure maybe a couple of you are screaming at me saying I did it wrong, but Yeah, not too bothered for now, to be honest. He's doing okay. Right, Aragorn, King of Men. He's going to be another one of my sweepers. I'm going to put this Carver on him, even though Smite isn't the best effect, just because the bonus attack for men will help with the units we're using. And then I'm just going to put kind of any spare gear I've got kicking round on him. Which one would I want to go for? All of this is just me. I might even put just a sustain pipe on him. Non-refined, because it's still going to provide a little bit of a heal, so it'll still be useful. Right, we're already going to try Isildur on a 15. We saw Gothmog lose a few too many, so let's see how Isildur does straight away on a 15. I think that 10 ring points is going to be much better spent. So did he lose? So he lost 15 troops. Then you look at Gothmog and he's losing 160. Yeah, definitely a good idea. I think that 10 ring points, maybe we'll lose out when we come back to start gathering and things like that. But I think getting Isildur up and running is going to make a huge difference for us. So we now can have 200 of every unit. And we haven't lost any of these archers yet. Of course, for Last Alliance, we only need some elves in the composition. So we can, if we want, use like a very minimum amount of elves, and then use our mainly men troops that we're conscripting. Which reminds me, so we do have a few more spearmen coming in. We've only got 4k of stone, which is remaining an issue. So I could put points into stuff like this just to increase our gold, although it does actually increase grain and wood production, so I think that's probably valuable. Let's do it twice. I know it's a bit of a use of stone, but yeah, I'm quite surprised how well he did taking that then. I'm tempted to already send him at like a 30 or something, but let's not get greedy. Let's go for another 15. I think he'll level up on that, and then we can look towards 30s. And that's crazy that you can take 30s at level 7. Defeating the militia gives us a speed up. Let's pull Gothmog back. I doubt we're even going to have troops to fill him up here. No, I didn't think we would. He's kind of chewed through all my evil side troops, unfortunately. So most of them are gone. Yeah, it might have been wiser to go this kind of route. Or even maybe just giving him some better gear. Something like this axe. In fact, I do have quite a few bits of gear that would have been much more beneficial for him. Well, we're not using it. Let's just swap this over. See if this helps troop losses. We can always take this back off again at a later date. There's quite a few bits of gear here I'm not using. That definitely could be beneficial to him. See, this is all defense for Orcs and Uruk-hai rather than anything useful. Let's put this drum on. Yeah, I haven't actually swapped my drums around yet, so do that in a moment. So is this defense plus 25 having as much of an effect as I expect, or should I be going into phalanx? That's the real question. I honestly don't know the answer to that. I thought the 11% damage and almost doubling the unit's defense would be more beneficial than this physical damage, but I'll stick with this for now. I've kind of committed this way now. Though of course with low troops maybe we don't want to send. I definitely don't want to give him, or do I give him some good side troops? It's only 100 I suppose I could do. No, because that's going to reduce both units damage and the commander's damage by 10%. That's going to be too much of a penalty. Right, Isildur again has levelled up. So we've got points in Last Alliance. We could go towards Free Peoples, which would be very good, but I think we're actually going to go towards, we'll put 1 point in Great King, just so that enemy units deal minimum damage. So even more damage reduction. See, look at this. 15 power time, we're just not losing any units at all. I'm absolutely in love here. I can't believe we haven't got him up and running sooner in previous seasons. I'm very much regretting that now. So if you have Isildur on hand, I think I can definitely recommend, if you spawn in an area where you can get these elven mobs, just pull some of those in with a conversion, and can make a massive difference. Still haven't decided what to do with Gothmog. Do we want to sweep, but we haven't got the full amount of troops? Normally I would never ever recommend that because it's just such a waste. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep them alive, keep the troops alive. We might need them. And then I'll conscript some more once these tier 1 militias have finished. So the other problem with using that 10 ring points for conversion, of course, is that I could have done 3 extracts for 1 less ring point, which would have given us, I think, 22,000, 21,000 stone, which would have been very useful for our building, as of course we're just sitting here with our main hall going, but we're not really making any progress this way. Can get this stone tribute going, but we are still bottlenecked here. But the main thing we're bottlenecked in is this commander level. So we need to get Gandalf going again soon, really. I think now Isildur is... I know I just spent time reinforcing him just to cancel it, but now he's got some troops in, we don't have to worry too much. So do I go with the tier 1 hunters and back them up like that? Or am I running the risk of losing too many of them? JR, let me in. Let you in what? Where are you? Are you sitting in the queue? Look how many people are waiting, Jay. We would have let you in already if you had your main here. Right, so Gandalf, let's take a few more 40 power tiles, then we can look towards taking a 60. We want to try and get him up to level 13 as soon as we possibly can. Also, what a lovely face you have. Thank you. Approving the approval of the face cam. I keep forgetting it's running as well, so I'm constantly looking down, obviously, at the iPad rather than at the camera, basically. It's a hard habit to get into, but we'll get there. Whilst it seems my face is going well, my start definitely is not. We're definitely running slower than normal. We're not going to be level 13 before I have to use a stamina tincture on him. Fellowship production is crazy. All of these teams. Some of these I didn't even know were here, like Burn. I think they must have been hidden. But yeah, the number of... You can see just the number of players in this server is insane. So this is going to be one insanely competitive server, I think. So how many Gandalf lose? Okay, he's not losing many, so that's good. So we're not risking running out of troops here by... Well, not running out of troops, but killing off all of our hunters by putting them on him. As soon as we reach that level 12, we will hit a 60 power tower. So that'll be 2 more 40, so I'll likely hit this one and maybe one of the wood ones nearby. We are starting to clash land-wise here with Pawsey now as well. Of course, not the end of the world at all. Nothing to worry about. But yeah, could just mean that we have slightly less land available going forwards. Two-minute march all the way over here. Got building going, got conscripting going. It's crazy how much better. So I'm playing on an iPad Air here, I think, newest generation. It's crazy how different the performance is here compared to most things. So this obviously performance is quite smooth, as you can see. I've seen when people play on BlueStacks emulator quite a lot. It seems really laggy. And I also have another iPad as well, which I'm playing a different account on, and just the little bit of like that lag or delay on it is crazy. Kind of, you can really see the difference. Paul Demick, hello. Hello to you also. Thank you for stopping in and showing your support. So 40 seconds until Gandalf is there. Most teams. So we started getting some. We got a reports channel now, so people are starting to share. What have we got in the team? So White Tiger hitting level 6 mobs. He's using Gandalf the White for this. Oh wow! That's why you can afford to do it only level 5 or 6 without losing many troops. Look at the gear. That's crazy. That's a really good Gandalf the White. We have Arutha with his Witch King taking 40 power tiles, actually taking quite a bit of loss there. I'm quite surprised by that. It's not only my Witch King that's taking a lot of loss, it seems. It's a nice looking Witch King. Might have soldiers rather than tactical mark, but Blazing Tongue with Mind Split is interesting. I don't see that used often. But the equipment itself suits well. Choku using Sauron. I do like Sauron. Of course, he's going to be taking here where he's got a mix of good and evil. He's going to be dealing 10% less damage with his commander and 10% less with his troops due to the mix of good and evil troops he's put on there. So that's why I've been basically avoiding doing that as much as possible. As I found out last season that having that kind of mix really cost us a lot of troops. We have an Aragorn here with taking 1 power tiles. Got Pawsey and his Gandalf the White. Again, good equipment on Gandalf. He's done the same by the looks of it. So this is the player who's spawned near us. He's done the same, converted elven mobs to try and get a few more units in. So White Tiger saying got a Max Smith around it. I don't fully agree, as I prefer having Convener, as I get the 14 points compared to 15. The 14 points aren't really doing a lot. However, having those extra points in Convener means a higher chance of activation, and I find more damage tends to mean, less troop loss. At least that's the build I've always gone with. So I'm not 100% convinced I agree, but happy either way. And then White Tiger's also using Aragorn, King of Men. Again with crazy good gear. Cleave, Tactical Retreat, Melee Vigor and Gift of Nature. So yeah, all the best effects for King of Men. And not taking too many losses. Of course, King of Men's main damage reduction comes from King of Men itself, so that respect 5. And with a lot of these low level tiles, they're not going to be inflicting stuns or madness, so you're not going to get that damage reduction. But still, he's got a really strong heal, so that keeps things down. And if he does hit a tile which... If he does hit a tile which has stuns or madness, the damage reduction will be crazy. Right, so Gandalf hit that 40 tile, very low loss again. We'll just top up the rest of these troops. Just kind of that endless cycle. Take a tile, reinforce, march. Take a tile, reinforce, march. Normally we'd have a couple on the go, but for now we're just kind of taking things slow. We just got to keep an eye on stamina for all of our guys, making sure none of them max out, which I don't think we're in any risk of doing so. So, yeah, just keeping things ticking over. Another 40 power tile will level Gandalf up, and then we'll start taking 60 power tiles, which will speed us up, definitely. In fact, it might even be worth starting to scout some. Right, so we have decent iron. So our production levels at the minute, we've got decent-ish iron production, rather low lumber production, massive stone, which is what we've obviously aimed for because stone is our bottleneck. But grain is very, very low. So when we start taking 60s, grain is going to be our aim. We can keep grain up, of course, by sweeping, but with the lack of mobs around us, I think we are going to need grain production. So let's reinforce here. I'm slightly concerned by the risk to those tier 1 archers. And of course, 10 ring points was a very big cost to get them in, so I don't really want to lose them. But while we got the healing buff, let's just throw at it and see what happens. So what have we got near us? We've got iron near us here. I'm actually not seeing any 60 power grain, at least not connected. Oh, there's one there. There we go. As I said that. So let's send Frodo and Sam for that madness bomb. We're just basically going to look for a nice easy army that we can take out. The one thing I'm surprised about here is our tiles. It's kind of a mix between good and evil. Whereas usually I tend to see a lot of evil around this area. So maybe that's changed up. At least last season I know that we mainly had evil side when I was doing that early farm. Maybe it's just the low level tiles. I guess we'll see. There's another one there. So there, we'll send these 3 scouts out. See what we find. Hopefully we get a nice easy one that we can take out. We're looking for good side. We're looking for an Ori. Evil side, Usura is okay, but we more like Gorbag can be okay if it doesn't have trolls. Sharku is a bit of an up and down one. I think that's okay. Of course, chance of madness, but we'll just put a horseman's helm on Gandalf, and I think that'll make it quite easy. In fact, did it do only fire damage? That poison and burn damage, and he doesn't have any troops that deal poison or burn damage. Yeah, so that should be a fine tile to hit, as long as I put the anti-madness helm on Gandalf. So we're going to have to strip this off. Witch King for now. Don't forget to allocate our skill points. We get that final point in Convener. And then we have to decide whether we want the grey or white council. But let's go here with Gandalf, I think. I'll find out in a minute if we made a mistake, because I could have waited 15 seconds and seen my other 2 scouts hit, see if there was an easier tile. Ugthak actually is a very easy tile. I suppose easy-ish. He does deal a bit more commander damage, and as long as you've got fire resistance, you don't take much damage there. And Lothar's not a tile I would have hit. I definitely don't want to hit any of the wraiths. Their skills dealing, it's got pursuit, deals physical damage, bonus might, and he uses these horrible stalkers. So no, I think we picked the right tile. Hopefully Sharku won't be too bad. It is, of course, a higher level of tile. It's level 15 commander, and we're hitting it with only a level 12 of our own. So we'll have to see how that pans out, basically. But I think we should be okay-ish. I just don't want to lose too many of those tier 1 hunters, because we need those for Isildur. So we get a draw. We're going to lose 10 of those hunters, which isn't too bad. Mainly what we've lost is the tier 1 militia. That's not bad of a draw, to be fair. That's a perfectly reasonable result for a 60 power tile. More than happy with that, so we'll just keep moving along. Speed that up. We need to put the skirmishers on somebody, so that when we get the ones, we haven't conscripted any more. Rookie error. I say when we conscript some more, we'll need them for other scouting armies. I might decide to move on to hit that Ugthak tile as well, to be fair. Whilst he does deal physical damage, I don't think that's too bad of a tile, to be fair. So blaze, that's burn damage. So we'll mainly just put a burn chest on, and then we should do okay. So White Tiger's gone for White Council, but he's gone only for White Council, which I'm surprised by. I thought the reason you would go for White Council at the beginning over the grey is so you could start getting points in things like Champion of Light when you face against Orcs, but I suppose with the mixed tiles. Although, are we getting mixed tiles? I suppose those 3 scouts on higher, they were all evil side, weren't they? Yeah, they were. So yeah, maybe Champion of Light would be valuable to, again, deal more damage. Ooh, that's a fabulous use rather. That's awesome. Fully refined twin daggers. Very good commander. Right, we have to wait our 3 minutes out. Could we send? Yeah, we could. We got more than enough to send Isildur on a journey. What do we want to hit with him is the question. Is the answer a 30 power tile? What did we hit with Isildur last time? 15 power with no loss. Do we want to hit a 30 power tile? Knowing how kind of strong he's been so far. He's been very strong. I might even put on one of these Mirkwood bows with elves damage, you know, because we are using a lot of elves. I think that's wise. Of course, we've got the hunter archers, and then we've got the wardens as well, so increasing their attack will probably be beneficial. Trying to work out if any of these would be more valuable. No, I think the brutal helmet does okay. Am I going too much too soon with a 30 power tile? Potentially. If I am going to hit one, I want it to be grain, really. Let's give him a whirl. I might even, when we hit 10 ring points, decide to do it again, but I don't think I will. I think I'll wait till we go past the chapter, because this chapter is going to go through unbelievably quickly. We'll likely finish this chapter today, which is crazy. In fact, it's not even going to make it towards the end of today, I think. Which then means we'll move on to In Search of Power, and that'll be already done quick too. So we're going to have mobs leveling up, so we'll be able to pick up level 15 mobs. And we're also going to see tips gaining experience a lot sooner than we expect. The one thing I haven't done that I will do now is actually this tavern tip. Well, I could wait to try and get experience off it. I think it's probably wiser to do it now and get those resources in. Let's use someone that we're not going to use. I don't want to waste Gothmog's stamina, basically. How did Isildur get on? Oh, wow. So, not a particularly high loss. I guess I'm maybe slightly lamenting the loss of 60 wardens, but that's not the biggest deal. He's already taking these tiles with crazy strong. Now, do I go towards the madness, or do I go free peoples? I think I'm going to go free peoples and just keep reducing that damage received. He is very strong for us here. I think I'm going to pull a few of the hunters off of Gandalf as well, as I don't think we need that many. We can split them evenly between Isildur and Gandalf, so we can have them both getting the benefit of it. And just maybe use a few more tier 1s on Gandalf. There we go, it's our 60 power tile checked off. Oh, we can now. Oh, I didn't donate for that. That's pretty shocking of me. I didn't realise it had unlocked. But awesome. We can now let in a load more people. I imagine Van's already doing this, but well, she knows better than I. Who we basically brought in a lot more players this season into home. So with home, a few of our players decided to take a season away after last season. They went with SDCC, who was one of the teams we played last season. By all accounts, it didn't go particularly brilliantly. They might come back in with the new village feature, but what we've done is we've brought in a clan which is just starting to form called Lost. So they're looking to make their own fellowship in future seasons. But for now, whilst they're gathering players, most of those players are now playing in home, which is the players that you're seeing that you might not have seen in previous season streams. So like White Tiger, Red Viper. I'm not reading that one out. But they're going to be a very strong team, and primarily evil side, and it fills a big gap that home had, to be honest, where we were very heavy good side, which made us maybe predictable. So having a lot more evil side troops will really help us, and having a lot more people with evil side commanders also helps with siege and things like that. So it should really fill a good gap for home. And these Lost guys are very strong, so they will form a really I think they will feel a really top level team at some point when they get that going. Right, so as I said, I'm going to increase that a little bit. So how much XP? So Gandalf's almost level 13 already. How much did I get from that 60 power tile? How much is that? 7,000. 7,500. So another one will level me up, basically. Right, I need to form a few more scout armies and get that going again. The only question is, what do I use as my scout? I think I might have to use 97 of these skirmishers, which is a bit like, oh. But if we turn off auto heal, that's another trick we can use for making scout armies. We can heal them like one at a time. So then we form a load of scout armies. So if I put on Eowyn this 97, here I speed through this so it's done. And then we go to our apothecary and we turn off the auto heal. I can then scout another 60 with Eowyn, and then when I heal them, I can heal them one or two at a time, which will then allow me to get a lot more scout armies without losing too many. Jake Cogswell, there's some computer settings you can check to fix the BlueStacks lag. That's fair enough. To be fair, I don't use BlueStacks at all, so I don't have any issue with it. I just know when I've seen some videos from other content creators using BlueStacks, it just looks like it's really, really laggy, which is why I quite like this kind of live stream direct off an iPad, is it's just so much smoother. Mazzy, what effect do I have on my Dragon Tooth? Well, I still do not have Tactical Mark, unfortunately. At the minute we have Dragon Energy. You'll be wondering what the refine in it is. That was previously Blitz, which I got rid of Blitz because a lot of the commanders I use have Convener, and Blitz messes with the activation of the follow-up on Convener. So it's not really applicable because I do usually use this on my Elrond. I am considering unrefining this basically and having two different Dragon Tooths just because of that plus attack. It's quite a big buff. But for now I'm quite happy with what I've, just the one I've got kicking around, so maybe I'll make that decision in future. So we have found a Usra tile. So we've got Gandalf with his troops. We do need a bit more stamina. So we are going to use our stamina tincture now, just to get up to that level 13, I think, because that will then allow us to make our season progression. Right, the thing I mentioned about, so we've got 67. We can only do 50 at a time rather than all. That's disappointing, but we can just treat 50 for now, and then we can have another scout army made out of those 50, basically. Right, Isildur, let's give him those 200 archers back, and he can then go on and get another tile. I have got to keep an eye on tile limit, because unlike previous seasons, because I'm using more than two commanders, we are taking a lot more tiles, particularly these 10 and 15s to level up, so we do need to keep an eye on tile limit. In fact, I'm going to drop that one power tile, and I might drop a couple of these 10s for now as well. Though we will get another 5, I suppose, with moving on to the next chapter progression, but I don't want to have to sit and wait for it basically for half an hour. So what can I hit next? Gandalf's coming here, which allows us to take that grain, but I think for now we're just going to take this iron one here. There are other grains sticking around here. Big cluster of 60s here. So how did Isildur do on this one? Maybe a few more losses, but again he's not losing many of those archers, which are kind of the valuable troops. Rahul 2222. Welcome from Bros or Bang. And of course thank you everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's watching. I do really appreciate everyone's support. It does make a big difference to me, and it does motivate me to kind of keep going. The more people that tune in, and we did pick up a sub a minute ago with Troupier, so thank you also for dropping the sub. That's massively appreciated. Right, so Gandalf hit a draw on this 60. How did it go? Ooh, little bit rougher. I'm going to say a little bit, I mean a lot rougher than that Sharku one. So Usrachi on a 60 doesn't look as nice as previous. I appreciate we were using the wrong helms. We hadn't switched back to the Hysteria helm. But yeah, that Sharky is definitely nicer on a 60, so that's something we should bear in mind. Right, we did heal those skirmishers, so now we're going to heal these ones here. Meanwhile, we'll put the other 50 onto another scout army. Let's use Eowyn again. And in 30 seconds, when those are done, we can get them running again. Let's get some more. Yeah, let's get some more tier 1 militia going. We should really get a few more evil side troops, just so we can get Witch King moving. But whilst he's out of stamina, I'm not in a massive rush. We've got plenty of time for that. You know, he's only got 17 stamina, so we have plenty of time. Just checking where these are dropping from in case they connect to a tile that we might want in the near future. Doesn't look like it. Specs off and running with his Dwalim, facing off against alerts. I don't learn. That's quite a good result, to be fair, considering the 10% debuff for using mixed troops. It's a nice gore bag as well. And where Sauron looks like. Perp Sauron. I do like Sauron, he's good. Use him on one of my other accounts. And we have Alderon, who's joined. He's a player who's played with us for a while, but he's playing with his evil side account this time. He's using the shadow with its unique. Nice. I have no idea how good the shadow is farming, actually. I don't think I've ever used the shadow for farming. So that'd be interesting to see. Now those 17 skirmishers are back. Let's put them back on there. And then let's get everything else healed. So actually want all of those back. In fact, for Isildur, I think we just healed some archers. I think we need a few more of those on him. Here we do. I think he leveled up. Do we put the skill point on? We must have done. Into free peoples. But Isildur is actually, whilst his troops are harder to get, he's turning into our strongest by the looks of it. So I think what we're going to want to do as soon as possible is build this hunter range, so we can start getting more of those archers hired while we still have a hiring queue. In fact, we might be able to do that. No, 25,000 stone. Oof. I was thinking after we'd finish this main hall, we might be able to do that, but that's a lot of stone. When we come in, we could upgrade this twice once the main hall's finished, if we have the stone, to unlock knights. Though I'm not really a fan of the knights, they cost way too much resource. So I'm actually quite happy just using the nice cheap tier 1s until then. As soon as this draw's done, I'm going to have Isildur take this 30. He probably could take 40s now, to be fair, but we don't want to push that those elven troops too far, take too many losses. We're not in a hurry. With having plenty of commanders able to take tiles, we're in no rush. We're basically playing the long game. Towards the end of the day, we want to get to the point where we can really take a lot of tiles quickly. Troupier, thank you for subscribing. Unfortunately, it is not a Frenzy Hammer on my Dwalin. It's currently Rend. I usually use this on my Isildur. I have kept my eye out for a while for a Frenzy Hammer. I've managed to pull one on one of my free-to-play accounts, but I'm not lucky enough on this one yet to pick up a Frenzy Hammer, unfortunately. I've been looking out for a while. I've kept around some gear for Dwalin. So probably either Mithril Coat. In fact, I could use a Warborn Battle Plate. That's not a bad idea. But also an Erebor's Pride as well, because then as soon as I get that Frenzy Hammer, I will use a lot of these bits of equipment to then just strengthen and make Dwalin my main commander. But until I get the Frenzy Hammer, it's not quite worth it. So unfortunately, no, it's not Frenzy as of yet. There we go, Gandalf has taken that tile. Strengthen him back up, and we're going to get Isildur to take this 30. We did hit level 13, so there we go. We can carry on progressing with our chapters, and we get a nice big stack of resource and a load of stone from the next one. And we just double shoot straight through both these chapters. And then we're left here. So we need 3 tiles, 60 or more power, Numenor quarters level 5, and then we can either build the Ranger training grounds or the Pirate Yurt. Now the Ranger training grounds can be very good, as we can use them on our Isildur and get good strength. Good luck with the server. Thank you, Rahul. And yeah, Trivia, fingers crossed. Yeah, I really hope I get one soon. It's a huge upgrade on Dwalin. Definitely, it makes a massive difference. Let's turn that auto heal back on. Right, we need to get another 60, so let's rescout this one. Scout one of these as well. Basically, we've seen how many troop losses Gandalf does take on these tiles at the moment, even with tiles that we've hand-picked. So we want to make sure that we're keeping up this scouting and not wasting our time, basically. Not just shooting our troops into the ether for no reason. So just waiting for those scouts to go out. How did Isildur do? I don't think I saw that. Yep, very low loss again. He's definitely going to be an asset. A massive asset. Very happy with my decision to get him up and running. I get it's only 30 power tiles, but he's performing as good, if not better, than Gandalf the Grey was. Let's take another grey one over here. How's everything looking production-wise then? So we're back in the production 300. We're looking good for stamina on, most troops. Our Dwalin, in fact, we might have to check. He's not getting back close to max. No, 80. We're taking things slowly, not just running it straight to the limit straight away. So we're looking good. We should start rising up slowly. Fellowship production, home has risen up from 12th up to 9th. You can see how many and how far a lot of these teams are ahead. Though at the minute, a lot of that will be down to the number of members they have. So they already have 80, whereas I think we have 40, I believe. Oh no, we have 60. But as I said, also a lot of players will only just be waking up for us. They'll have logged in. At least Northern Americans will have only just logged in. What am I looking at, Chad? I can see it popping up in the bottom every 2 seconds. What are you after? How long have you been posting this for? Is that amusing? Right, Isildur should be pretty... Oh, we didn't allocate our skill point. Right, now we need to decide. Do we go 3 peoples for damage reduction? Do we go the grey for healing? Or do we go white council? In fact, I think I'm going to go for the grey. Same as I've always done previously. It's never failed me previously, so we're going to keep going that way. So full-on troops, basically. A few less hunters again. We are slowly starting to run out of these archers. I get we only had 600. We're trying to stretch them between 2 commanders, so no surprise. Did we get scout results? We did. So we have Zegrid and Zegrid. No choice between the 2. A lot of damage, a lot of damage, and a lot of damage. That to me is a no thank you. Not interested in Zegrid. Right, speed through that because we need to get another scout. Should have turned off auto. Right, what's next up? Can't believe there's no more, no closer 60s. For some reason there's almost nothing anywhere near me. I think I'm going to send a Isildur to get a 40. There's another 60 there. Anyway, go scout that. What else we got going in reports then? Ajax run is Dwalin. Of course, doesn't have dwarves, which is pain when a lot of the gear is dwarf focused. In fact, all the gear is dwarf focused. Needs to get them going as soon as possible. Still not done too badly. I think most of this loss is as a result of using the evil side troops, so it gets that 10% commander and army damage debuff. Bamwell here using Mouth of Sauron, which is fun to see. I don't see many Mouth of Saurons. Let's go. Isildur took that 40 with, again, very minimal loss. So I'm all over Isildur today. He's definitely been my MVP so far, farming better than Gandalf. We have another Sharku. Just check the skills are the same. Yep, madness. Swap that helm over again, as we know that Sharku is a nice tile. We've hit it once before. And let's get Gandalf on the march. Meanwhile, we have another skill point for Isildur, which we're going to Free Peoples. Once we're done with that, we need to decide whether we go into Coalition for that chance of maximum damage and also initiative on the elves, or we keep going to Great King, which means that from round 2 onwards we deal more damage. I think it's likely to be going to Great King, and I might even go Great King and Consequence of Greed kind of equally, because then we can get that madness, which we do inflict on enemy troops, can give us a nice damage reduction. But I think I'll probably go just into the main skill to begin with, so we get that bonus damage, which will be a bit more consistent than a chance of madness. And even when you inflict the madness from that chance, it's still only a 50-50 they attack themselves. So I think I'll more likely go just for the header skill. So now we know Isildur can quite comfortably take 40s. We'll carry on doing the same with him, keeping him levelling up. He's levelling up quicker than anyone else at the moment. In fact, we could even sweep with him on the 40s, as we don't actually need 40 power tiles. I think 40 power sweeps might be more beneficial. Let's try. Let's see if he loses too much. We'll find out. It's a 40 power tile, level 10 up. Yeah, it's the same as a 40 power tile. Right, Gandalf will likely draw here, but hopefully it'll be a low loss draw. It basically depends on whether we have a 100% chance of madness, I suppose, but hopefully it's not too rough. Oh, actually, we just took it out straight away, so a little bit of loss. I think that's because we have slightly less archers, so we're dealing a little bit less damage, but still not too bad at all. So we now need to do all of these things. I think we might speed through some of this now. We have 16k of stone, so let's get Númenórean quarters done. What else did I want? Rangers quarters, so I need 13,500. And I do have a lot of other resources, so I can afford to skip through some of those. And I think we're now going to start conscripting these ranger units. Claim. We need to do the horseman stable. That's not ideal. I don't really like these horsemen, but if I must. So what was it? 13,000 I needed. Just take a little bit away from here. There we go. Let's get that one done as well, because we'll top that back up with 5k stone there and massive resource coming from there. Build a military academy. You got it. In fact, I should have done that sooner. Do I build the military embassy? Because then I can build the barracks, allow me to get more of those elven archers, and I can keep Isildur running for longer. But the military academy will allow me to get 2 extra command, which means losing less troops, and both of them cost an enormous amount of stone. Stone, of course, being my main bottleneck at the minute, so that is quite a toughie. In fact, can I afford both? Because I want both. I think I can, and I think I will. I mean, I'd love to get this other academy in as well. But it just means we're going to take significantly less losses now on these tiles. What it does mean, though, is I am going to have to start pulling troops off of Isildur, because Gandalf's command is getting high enough now that I need kind of all the troops I can get for him. There you go, so he's got nearly 7,000. Getting towards the point where he might even be able to take 90s, but I'm not going to rush through that, to be honest. Right, we've gained a few other things, so we get 5,000 gold, 5,000 grain. Hoping for some stone in some of these, hopefully. No, more grain. I don't know what this gives you at the end. I'm assuming there's some kind of reward, but not sure so far. A few more gems. Right. Do we want to start scouting again is the question. Don't have any spearmen there, but I do have 1 hunter. If I speed these, I imagine we'll get some more spearmen. Or 9 hunters. 9 hunters will probably do it. Get that it's kind of a waste of those archers, but you know, I'm only losing 10 of them, and I get 2 scouts as a result. So that's the one I scouted earlier. And that one, so we're now going to check both of these. Just to see if they're worth me hitting, basically. There is one over here, but it's a 90 in the way. We really could do with getting a 90 power stone tile as soon as possible. Jake, give me the likes. Yeah, if anyone watching could hit the like button, that'd be massively appreciated. It does help you know, push the content out there. And if anyone watching also is not subscribed, I'd really appreciate a subscription. We are creeping up towards my 1,000 subscription goal, so if you could help contribute to that, I would massively appreciate it. And I think I might also have turned on the alert system now, which means it might pop up on screen. I don't know if I've done it correctly though. But if you haven't subbed, click sub and you'll find out. Right, Chad's still trying to get my attention every 2 seconds. Yeah, you're already in the video. I've already answered once. Have you messaged me as well? Spectre again, asking for points into Gandalf the Grey. So we were talking about this earlier, Spec. There's 2 different ways to do it. So the way I do it is 2 in Wizard, 1 in Surge, 2 in Grey, 1 in Blindside, and then I split evenly between Convener and Mithrandir, because I want the damage reduction from Mithrandir, but mainly I want the highest chance possible of follow-up from Convener. However, there's another way to do it, which is what I believe White Tiger is advocating, which is just putting the 1 point in Wizard, then you put 2 in Grey and 1 in Blindside, and then you put every single other point into Mithrandir until it's maxed, then you move on to Convener. Because that way you're basically maximising your damage reduction rather than your chance of damage infliction. Both seem to work very well, so we shall see. He's above me in production at the minute, though the gear difference is enormous, and we are going nice and slowly. We're taking our time. So Gorbag there has trolls. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. And this Ugthak, I did say I wouldn't mind hitting him. I'm looking at these skills now, and they do inflict quite a lot of damage, so I think I am going to give that one a miss. So that means we need some more scouts, if we're not going to hit any of them. Oh, 40 seconds. We can wait 40 seconds. Oh. Surprised we haven't made any crippling errors quite yet. Previous seasons we've always made some really stupid errors right off the bat. And my pup, well, my not so much puppy anymore, my dog, woke me up at 3 and 6 o'clock this morning, so I'm surprised I'm not bleary-eyed and just making error after error. But we seem to have taken things a little bit slower this season. We haven't jumped into the 60s too soon, and we're not hitting tiles that we don't know aren't kind of doable. So we're taking things at a steady pace, and we haven't made any massive errors yet. So we're, yeah, I think we're doing pretty well, to be honest. Does that heal happen now? Yes, it looked like it had. So let's, as that is one of the most important things. And of course we did open up the possibility of building the hunter's range to get those archers in, so we're going to get that building as soon as possible as well, so that we can also utilise the hiring queue. We're out of stone, but I'm going to get a stone tribute going as well. Conscription level 20. Yeah, we're gonna bottleneck for a while on this chapter now. As getting your commander up to level 20, it does take quite a while. Around that point you'll be taking 130 kind of power tiles, and obviously we're only on level 13, so we're a little way off yet. We're going to look towards taking 90 power tiles somewhere. Not quite there yet. We need to take a few more of these, unfortunately, but we'll get there. Slowly but surely we'll get there. I think I might choose to take a break in a short moment, just for maybe a couple of hours, and come back a little bit later this afternoon. I think probably once I've taken a 90 power tile, I'll then look to move on, and then I'll come back a little bit later on this afternoon or evening, hopefully around the time when I'm capable of taking 130s. And you can see the back end of my 24-hour farming. As previously we've always done the first 6-7 hours, which led me to get massively burnt out. So we're going to look to tune off a little bit earlier this time, and then maybe come back a little bit later on, so you can see the back end of the farm. So we still have a Isildur kicking around, so if some of these 60 power tiles don't kind of give out what I'm looking for. Oh, trolls again. So speaking of which, so we could look to move away. The other thing I'll do when I take a break is I'll probably just sweep like an absolute maniac, because I appreciate that sweeping is very, very boring to watch, just waiting for commanders to walk up and back. So this was a Gorbag again. Gorbag as a commander is okay to hit on tiles, but the only reason I don't want to hit it is because of these cave trolls. They have that massive physical damage reduction and that massive amount of defense, and it just makes them an absolute pain. So if he didn't have trolls, we'd hit it, but because he does, we're going to skip out on that one. I'm noting that Isildur I hit, the mob actually went pretty okay. So I think that's what we're going to do with him from now on. Rather than take 40 power tiles, we're going to hit those mobs, get the fellowship leveled up, and get it done as soon as possible. Because what do we need? Level 4 for another member expansion, and we're halfway through level 3. So, and that's really costing us in the fellowship production tables, not having 20 extra people. That can make a big difference. It's going to be another minute till those hit, or at least those land. Yeah, Vanis, I was just saying, I want to level up the fellowship as quickly as possible. Anything more fun in reports? What have we got? Oh, there we go. Lord Zorro subscribed, thank you. And you've now tested that I have got the subscriber notification working. That's the first time that's just come in. So, Zorro, thanks for dropping in chat, and thanks also for dropping the sub. That's massively appreciated. At least we know it works for next time now. Right, Specs Gandalf. Did he skill it? Skilled it slightly different to what we would have done, but still manageable. Maybe he swapped it around afterwards. Frank's using his King of Men, which is a very strong King of Men. I think he has Last Resort on here. Yeah, he does. He's actually gone for damage with Anduril over the heal, which is interesting, which might be why he lost a few troops. But that's actually not too bad for a level 12 hitting a level 12 mob. So that's pretty decent actually, especially with the 10%. Sorry, 10% debuff from using mixed troops. Ajax hitting level 10 mobs and only losing, what's that, 11 troops? I mean, you could count it as 14 if you count the knights as 2 because they have less command, but still not bad at all. That's very, very clean. How does Ajax go with his? So he goes similar to me by the looks of it. Yeah, so White Tiger's saying the same as me. If you drop the skirmishers, you reduce the 10%. Omen's Gandalf is on the way. Omen has a nice Gandalf. Troll command. Boo-hoo. But yeah, nice Aegis on the cask. I literally am dreaming of having that. I've got so many casks just sitting around, and all of them have formation break or intimidation or things which are just completely pointless, or at least pointless for me and the commanders I use. Right, I've got Agzok with trolls, which I don't want to hit, and I've already decided that Ukthak again is not one I'm interested in. So we're not getting very lucky here with our scouts. So we're gonna have to go again. We'll just keep looking through reports in the meantime. As I said, I'm in absolutely no rush to take tiles. I'm not looking to take them as quickly as possible or anything like that. I don't need to be at number 1 for the first hour and then never be seen again. Taking things slow to build kind of long-term gains, basically, by keeping these troops alive. I could also send Isildur on a march instead of leaving the troops wasted on Gandalf the Grey, but I think we're fine. Need to keep remembering to keep the second account going because I keep wasting time on for build and stamina time because I'm not actually paying any attention to it. But who cares as long as we're doing well on this one. Where are we at the minute? We've only taken 160 cents, so we're around 200th. It looks like the top level kind of production growth is slowing a little bit. I imagine it will massively increase when they start hitting 130 power tile level. Home's still in 9th, a long way off 8th, but so they've got the same number of members as us. We're a long way off actually. Our average is really down there. But there's a lot of players that we haven't got at the minute that are usually right at the top of our production levels. I'm thinking like Cull and players like that, Colball, who's normally right at the top of production by the end of 24 hours. I think we're just waiting for him to finish working and then he will be here. So we have Grima, whose real only threat is madness. Does inflict burn damage, both of those. So I think we're gonna take that tile, but we're also going to just spec our equipment against that, just to resist any risk. We've already got the anti-madness helmet, but we're actually going to swap our chest piece with Dwalin's just for that burn resistance. 60% burn resistance should help. And then just behind that is Khaldun, who doesn't have any damage dealing skills, and the only real threat is maybe the pirates with burn damage. So we'll keep a burn damage chest on, and we'll hit that tile straight after. So actually two very hittable 60s there, I think, which will then fulfill this part of our chapter. And we use up a lot of Gandalf's stamina. Should get him to level 14. I think normally around level 15, 16 is when I start looking towards 90 power tiles, but only when they've got the real kind of bottom rung commanders on them. Abdurrahim, oh man, I only have 300 power. It doesn't matter, man. Honestly, it's not. It doesn't matter really how quickly you go right at the beginning, as long as you're being efficient with how you're doing things, keeping your troops alive, not wasting stamina. You can just snowball that towards the end of the day and keep things running quickly. There's no rush to be the top in the first hour, because that doesn't mean you'll be top at the end of the first 24. So, yeah, take a breath. Plenty of time. Sorry, just spend some time getting other things running. 3, 2, 1, and Gandalf hits the tile, and we should take relatively low loss. Ooh, a lot more than I expected, to be fair. Surprised by that. So we did 9k of damage to ourselves despite the anti-madness helmet. Surprised by that. Must have been it's commander damage, isn't it? That's what it is. It's my commander hitting my troops rather than my troops hitting themselves. It's unfortunate. I think we just got quite bad with our bad RNG there. Not the end of the world. Running low on a lot of our good side troops actually at the moment. After that, we do have more conscripting, and we should be getting close. So 4 minutes away from having the hunter range, so we can start getting those hunter archers back refilled. No troops too. No troops means you've probably been hitting tiles a little bit too early for your level. You know, the basic kind of rule is always keep an eye, but even if it says challenging, it means it's probably not a good idea to hit. The only reason I'm doing it is I've scouted them, so I know it's an army that I think should be quite easy for me. Though obviously with that Grima case, it didn't quite go to plan. At least with the Sharkus, for example, I've been getting good results, so relatively low loss. You want to aim for an average of about 20-25% loss. It doesn't matter if you lose, you know, more than that on one tile, as long as you then bring it back by losing less on another. For example, here. So, yeah, try and look for armies that are, you know, give good results when you hit them, basically. Just finished season 2, and the gear difference is massive. Yeah, gear does make a huge difference. There's, yeah, definitely no denying that. Gear makes a massive, massive difference with farming it. It changes, you know, how early you can hit tiles, which is a massive change. Right, we're running a little bit low on troops here. Gain a bit more grain. We do need to get a few more scouts running. Need another scout, but I don't think we have any. Well, we will if I speed this through, but I don't think we want to use the hunters anymore because we're starting to run low on those. So we've only got 442. So next time we get a conscription queue, we will start using that to build some scouts, I think. We do need a few more scouts. We're going to, in the next 20-25 minutes, maybe look towards capturing some 90 power tiles, if we can find one with a good army. To be fair, so far in our scouting, we haven't really found anything that's really easy. We haven't found, you know, like an Ori, for example. There's a few kind of commanders that are really, really easy. Let's look at a few more reports. Ajax, if you're listening, I would not hit that. Definitely not. Reason being, trolls, they can just soak up a lot of damage. So as a flat rule early on, just don't hit trolls. It's not worth it. But they're particularly bad with Agzok, as he has a lot of damage skills. So these trigger every 3rd round, and if the trolls are soaking up a lot of damage, your fight's going to go the full 10 rounds. So you're going to face this 3 times during the fight. So I would not recommend hitting that at all. Definitely a bad idea. What else we got kicking around? Hollow is started up against. He's hit Gorbag here, so he's using all evil troops on a good side commander, which is interesting. But I think that's because almost all of his commanders are evil side, other than the Gandalf. So he'll be conscripting pretty much only evil side troops. And it's probably worth it, to be fair, just even with Gandalf, because of the lack of loss he has on early farming. You can see here he's still lost almost nothing. Elrothgar, or Elrothgalar, hello to you as well. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Massively appreciate that. We have Omen as well, hitting 60 power tiles with Dwalin, and only level 12 Dwalin, and still not losing many troops at all. So that's a good result. It's Sharku again. Sharku is very nice on a 60 power tile as long as you've got. So you've got the anti-madness helmet, although actually she doesn't have the anti-madness helmet on. So maybe got a little bit lucky that the madness didn't hit. Scott Springer, morning. Best of luck for the start. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to Rofglar as well for saying that you like my videos. I very much appreciate that, and any support, very, very much appreciated. Van started running with Radagast, quite useful for early farming. So we have new units available, and I know what that'll be. That'll be our first barracks being completed, so we can now start using the hire queue and get the hunters hired, which will definitely be valuable. What do we got here? Kurwan, definitely not even slightly interested in that. Skirmishers should be healed already. Let's put them down here and let's scout the second one. It is quite boring, obviously, just scouting every tile before you hit it, kind of having to wait so much longer, but the difference it has on your results is massive, because if I'd hit this tile with Gandalf the Grey now, I'd lose more than half my army. I might even lose all of my army, to be honest. It's a tough tile, especially with Ring Wraith, Morgul Poison inflicting that poison damage, and then Nazgul Screech as well, inflicting stuns and focus damage, combined with Trolls. Ugh, no thank you. So the scouting, whilst it might be boring, it does add a massive performance gain. It's just whether you can be bothered to do it, basically. Sorry, hit the mic there. Probably headphone warning. Sorry, guys. Oi, oi, oi. So I imagine a lot of people will just start waking up now. Now will be the time where kind of the Americas starts waking up. Almost finished hiring militia. When we do have that, we'll also be able to hire rangers or conscript rangers. Got to decide whether I want to do that or not, because I'm not a huge fan of the ranger, not at the start of a season anyway, because its stats 30 HP, 29 defense. It's not that much better than the tier 1, but the resource difference is massive. 8 to 13 damage versus, I guess, 14 to 20, so it is higher damage. However, it's only really good when you face off against enemy ranged units, and you'll see a lot of these tiles. Quite a few of them don't use ranged units, so that Kurwan one didn't. Khaldun doesn't. Grima did. Agsog doesn't. Ukthak does, but yeah, you get the point. A lot of them don't use ranged units. As I say, that Shagrat comes up with ranged units. Again, I don't like hitting Shagrat because of that. There's a chance of madness, but it's mainly this physical damage and chance for stun. I don't want to take on that much those high physical damage skills, because it will inflict a lot of pain. Khaldun, I think, is the best I've seen so far, but Sharku's nice as well. We've scoured most of those ones up by Gandalf now, and we haven't found anything worth hitting, unfortunately. Which is frustrating. So we'll keep an eye on stamina. Where's Dwalin now? Dwalin must be getting close. 91. Plenty left on Isildur. Still some on Gandalf. And Witch King's replenished quite well. So we can go on our sweep spree in a moment. Ooh, Stone Tribute finished. I think we will set that running again, just because we're not really bottlenecked by, at the minute anyway, by grain and iron. I might regret that, as we could pick up a bottleneck soon. But for now, we just want that stone coming in. That's why we've got such high stone production. Just looking for a nice tile to hit, to be honest. We're getting very unlucky with with the tiles that we're hitting. Which report was I talking smack of? Oh, this one. That's what you get for hitting those trolls. To be fair, you did well. It's a good report. You just got very lucky. That was the earlier one, wasn't it? You got very lucky with not getting madness on Sharku. If it had have got madness on maybe your tier 2s, you would have taken a lot more losses. Choku here taking some losses, but again, that'll be due to the mix of good and evil troops. It just depends whether you can fill an army, basically, doesn't it? But if you can avoid doing so, don't mix your troops, because there's a massive drop in output, basically. A few people are starting to log in. We've got Sprinter logging in now as well. So Rahul talking from Bang. This is Sprinter's account that previously was playing in Bang. He's decided to play with his evil instead of his good side this season. A few other people just starting to join home. We have the Notorious, who previously played with, I'm not going to say the word, BTCH. Yeah, getting up and running. So you can see people are starting to wake up now. We'll start filling up our fellowship and hopefully we'll start climbing up the rankings. Because we're quite low down at the minute. Quite a long way off. We're actually getting caught up by Saw at the minute. See up here, UTTP, you've got some mad farming literally going on. They're not just mad farmers, they're literally mad farming. 75k already. Double us, which is pain. Oh, I'm talking about pain. More trolls. Give me a break. Literally just need some kind of break. Just give me a 60 power tile. Doesn't help that there's no 60 power tiles anywhere near me, so I have to sit and wait for these scouts to go and come back for an absolute age as well. And most of these have already been scouted. It's our nearest. We scouted this one? Yeah, we have. There we go. Let's go over here. Oh no. Oh, this is Poor Z scouting them as well. So we're going to start clashing with production of tiles soon, which is not ideal. We need to come down this way a little bit maybe at some point. Open up some of these tiles. Right, I think we did have a Nugthak on one of these tiles, one of these ones. I think we're just going to have to hit that. I don't think we have a choice. Let's find out. Is that here? I was 18 minutes ago, so no, it wasn't there. Shagrat. Let's go with Shagrat. Just because I'm bored of constantly scouting tiles and never finding anything. Oh, to be fair, the Shagrat, I don't know why I was avoiding that one. Took it down with next to no loss at all. Did give us time though to conscript a few more troops, so looking good on troop numbers. We were getting a bit ropey for a while. How much do these 90s give? They give 7,500. So I think the next one will get us just short, unfortunately. This other one was Quirawan, wasn't it? You know, while we're waiting for all of these 60s to refresh, let's have a sniff of a 90. See if it's doable. Never know, might find a really easy one that we then decide to hit. Probably a crazy idea, but what the hell, why not? Just looking around for any more 60s. That one hasn't been scouted. Oh, I've just sent my scout out. Duh. But was he to decide to hit this one up here? Hitting for a draw at the minute, which probably means it's slightly higher loss than would otherwise have liked. I wonder if this works. No, it doesn't. Oh, talking of easy commanders that you want to hit, of course, when I think the tile's too high level for me, I pick this up. So Maltok is probably the best of the bunch. This might be a bit of a risk because we're probably about 2 levels lower than I want to be. But as it's the easy tile, I'm going to take the gamble. Probably going to take some quite heavy troop loss here, but oh well, for the fun. Uralia. Which is your account name? Is it Shocks Reborn? Is that the account you're running on here? Because I know your main account's with Bang, isn't it? But you say you played against UTTP last season. Yeah, they look like they're a very strong team. So we don't really need to put a ring point into anything, to be honest. We're not going to use the other side troops, so dispersion's not really going to make a difference. Depending on how this goes, we might chuck some troops on Isildur and hit it a second time if this is like a very mediocre draw. What do we got? Oh, so there you go. That's why Maltok's the best of the bunch. So I thought we could probably go in a bit too early for 90s, but with a Maltok, you can never say no. It just does no damage at all. The only damage unit he's got, it's all his skills are built towards Warg units. And the only Wargs he has are the tier 1 scouts, which are very, very weak. And his tier 2 unit is not a Warg unit, so all of his skills are completely useless on that unit. So it makes him a very easy tile to hit and a very nice tile to hit. So that's our first 90 in the bag. Just gonna wonder. See what he says. Giga Chad's running a Legolas. Oh no, he's not. He's just looking at the Noldor sword. For Noldor sword, well, I know you're watching, so there's no point me typing. Noldor sword, personally, it can be good as it gives the boost to attack of men and elves, but personally I think its best effect is Mind Split, mainly because that 50% chance of inflicting damage is good for Gandalf the Grey. Its other effects, so Might of Soldiers can be beneficial, though there's better swords that give the attack buff and more might as well as the increased damage. Accelerate has its place. So it can give the commander follow-up. Accelerate has its place. It can work quite well with like a Dwalin, but you don't really want Dwalin with men and elves, to be honest. And Frenzy works definitely better than Accelerate, as Frenzy's not restricted to the first 3 rounds. Then Amplification and Battered, in my opinion, aren't particularly great. So I'd say that the main use of Noldor Sword, is for putting Mind Split onto Gandalf the Grey for activation of the Grey. But again, any kind of focus damage dealing commander, Mind Split will work well on. Thanks, Omen. Don't know if I spelled that wrong. I think I just corrected it from the correct spelling to the wrong one. Anyway. Ooh. Apologies, headphone listeners. Dog barking going crazy. So have we unlocked a no, we finished our conscription. Right, let's get these. Just get some scouts going, because we have a real lack of scouts at the minute. It's causing a problem. But now we know we can take 90 power tiles, we can get scouting those as well. We don't really need to wait for 60s, so we can get out of Pawsy's way. But we might scout some 60s, because it'd be useful for someone like Isildur. Get the dog in the stream. I would, but it'll probably mess around with the green screen behind me, and I don't want it to. You'll end up seeing all the back of the room. Believe me, that's not something you want to see. If he comes in here and sits under the desk, then maybe I'll pull him up and give him a show off. I think that's why he was barking. He just wanted to. He wanted everyone to know he was there. Right, 30 seconds. Then we'll have our first 90 power tile, which is good. Definitely good progression. It's a positive anyway. We'll probably look to move on soonish. Wouldn't mind eating some breakfast and then coming back a little bit later this afternoon when we have that capability towards taking like maybe 130 power tiles. I could then come back that sort of way, and you can see me heavy scouting and farming towards trying to get that high level of production. But for now, I'm in no hurry. So we do need to scout some more then. If we're going to go 90s, then let's scout 90s. Let's try and find a few more Maltocs. I don't know. I think Maltok is significantly easier than any others. So I don't know if like Sharku, for example, is as good on on 90 power tiles, but I guess we'll find out. There's quite a few 90s around at least, so we've got a lot of options to scout. At some point we'll get to the point where we don't even need to scout and we can just start smashing these 90s out. But you see we're climbing up the rankings. At least we were at one point, we were fell out of the rankings altogether, up to 200, now 133. A lot of that's going to be because people would have just blown their stamina or their troops very early on and been high up, whereas we've kind of snowballed that slow progression. We still have a lot of resource left. A lot of our commanders still have a lot of stamina. We've still got probably 3 hits by the time those 3 hits have landed on Gandalf. Loads on Isildur, though we might choose to sweep with those. Similar with Dwalin, he's still got 10. Depends what we're looking at troop levels, basically. And of course we still have Witch King sitting in the background as well. What have we got? Gorbag with trolls. So Yusra, we did have some problems with her earlier on, but I still think she's probably one of the best tiles you can hit, so I am still going to hit this. We might lose maybe like half an army rather than the like 2% we lost on with Maltok, as nothing is as good as Maltok, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll keep going. We'll give a Yusra a go. What was this most recent scout? Oh, it's another Maltok, so we'll mark that one and we'll definitely come back and hit that straight after. Hopefully we'll have time, because I'm a little bit worried if we draw out this tile, but I guess we'll see. We need these hunters to hire a lot quicker. Whilst it says 100, you don't actually get all 400 until it finishes hiring. Now, do I go for the Rangers? I think I've changed my mind. I think I will go for some Rangers, but only after I've prepared all these scout armies, because I need those a lot more. Okay, Chad, I get the message. What have we got in reports? Ooh, I Don't Learn is actually using a Sharku. which is interesting. Unless this is just for paving or pathing. Was it a 10 power tile? Oh, he did, but he's at tile limit. Oh no. Yeah, territory limit cannot occupy. Hollow's onto 60s with his Gandalf level 12. Ajax is scouting 60s using 100 troops, so he's going to take a few losses. Yeah, Adonai, not a huge fan of, but if you do, make sure to run at the very least focus, resist, chest, and don't use Gandalf. Don't use any, or at least don't use any commander that heals, basically, because you're going to get no healing as a result of plague. I'm not a huge fan. It's because not only that, they also have the dual blows crossbowmen, which are tier 2. In my opinion, I wouldn't hit Adonai, but I suppose it's up to you. Did I use stand pots already? I've used one. I've used one on Gandalf the Grey, just to keep us running. Basically, I don't think you can have more than 2. Oh, Yusra again looks like a there goes another good tile. Didn't lose many at all. So Yusra and Maltok, very promising. In fact, I'm gonna just hit that with Gothmog and recall Gandalf, because I want to hit that other Maltok 90 tile, while I still have time to do so. Let's get another scout. There we go. Right, so where was that Maltok tile? Was this one here I had marked? So there we go. Started to really pick up our production now. Picking up, a ton of 90. So we'll start catching everyone up suddenly as a result of keeping our troops alive and kind of getting everything to snowball. This is exactly what I meant by, it's all about keeping things rolling. So yeah, we don't have a stand pot. Google Shower, as you asked. Have used it already about an hour ago. I like to use the stand pot as soon as possible, because if you get access to a second one, you don't want to be waiting hours for the cooldown. So I try and use them as soon as I possibly can, to be honest. We have completed another one of these new task things. And it's just a couple of speed ups, unfortunately. We're looking mainly for resources from these. We want stone. That's what's holding us up at the minute, is just stone. So we need to do our grain tribute, so let's do that. And this one needs ore tribute. We might as well do that as well. But then again, that's all our stone gone. Which I guess is the penalty we get for us getting those elven troops early and getting Isildur was 10 ring points, which meant we couldn't extract or extract stone. So lacking a little bit of stone, but I think they've been more beneficial to us with allowing Isildur to take some tiles. So there we go. We managed to lose 41 troops facing off against 46 pirates. I'm not particularly impressed with Gothmog so far. He's definitely going to be just my sieger, I think. I was hoping to use him for a lot of sweeping, but the results so far have not been promising. And we actually didn't even draw on this tile. We just took it out straight away. So that's a nice result there. So we're now up to 1485, which puts us up into the top 100. And we're going to start climbing and catching up with a lot of these people, I suspect. Home's up to 41k, still with Saw right behind us and nowhere near Sith at the minute. With Gandalf's stamina out. In fact, with Gandalf's stamina gone, I think we might call this a day here, to be honest. Well, not a day. We might call it for now and then potentially come back a little bit later on. So it's pretty much midday bang on here, so 12 o'clock. I think in about 4 hours I might come back. By that point we should be taking 130s. Hello from Evolution. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, you've tuned in just as I'm probably about to leave. Abdurrahim, I attacked 4 level difference tile and got completely wiped out by Yusra. I hope she will be easy no matter the difference. Yeah, unfortunately she is decent, but you still obviously need to be... it's mainly command difference. You need to have enough command to to deal the damage, basically. I think my difference at the minute is I have Military Academy, which is helping. Anyway, yeah, we're going to call it there. I think it's likely I'll come back in about 4 hours' time. So that would be 3 UTC. If not, it'll be 4 UTC. It'll be somewhere around that time. I'll definitely put a message out and let everyone know, so keep an eye out. But yeah, I'll probably come back. I'd anticipate at 3 UTC is the likelihood. For anyone who's watching who's not subscribed, please consider hitting the sub button, as it will make a massive, massive difference to me. It does help me push towards that 1,000 subscriber mark. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. And if you want to, anyone who's logging in late in this stream, feel free to scroll back and watch back from the beginning. You can see what I did right from the very start. And anyway, with that, that's going to be the end of me. So I really hope to see you later on, or when I come back, about 3 UTC. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.